experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Feeling stuck? Think bigger. Meet NASA's Meredith McKay and explore space careers, the future of Artemis, and more at the New Frontiers Diplomacy Forum, July 28th at Wings Over the Rockies. Tickets at wingsmuseum.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Manage the link between your type 2 diabetes and heart disease at nodiabetesbyheart.org.
Passive aggression.
Oh, Mark. Sweet, naive, childlike Mark.
Culinary techniques.
So you got the crawfish, you got the tail, you pinch, twist, and some people like to slurp it. You're a slurper.
And backhanded apologies.
You know what? I would like to officially apologize to you, Mike. You were right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're skinny. I'm fat.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in today for Mike Evans and Brandon Stokley. I got to take care of both these guys' jobs today, Mark.
That's exactly what you have to do. You're the man over there, and you got to take care of those two slackers as we sit here and grind it out. Just grind it out.
Grind it out all morning. So, Mark, I know you came in here today. You're like, John, did you see Messi? You're such a messy guy.
Right.
So when it comes to Lionel Messi, you can't stop talking about this guy.
No. I mean, listen, Lionel Messi's incredible. And he assisted on both goals yesterday for Argentina. And that last goal in, extra time when we don't know when the game is going to end or if it's going to continue on. That was freaking amazing. Like, you want to talk about, he's somewhat like a quarterback with timing and accuracy, kicking a ball to an area where he can have the other dude, headed in. Was like both of those things to me were remarkable. And then he draws so much attention because he is so good. He draws the attention that he can get it to a wide open shooter. So he was incredible. Quote unquote best soccer player in the world. Now I did see some hyperbole out there.
Oh,
yeah, I saw some hyperbole. It was a guy I know pretty well, and so I'm not going to use his name, but the greatest athlete of all time, we can stop that, right? And he's 5'6", he trots, and like he's got great hand-eye football or foot-eye coordination. He's got foot-eye. I guess in soccer you'd have foot-eye coordination.
You'd have foot-eye coordination.
Yeah, foot-eye. You don't have hand-eye. Right, because you're not allowed to use your hands unless you're the goalie. So you got foot-eye coordination. Unbelievable. But we can just stop. I'll give you best soccer player of all time if that's what you want. That's great. Awesome. He's 5'6", 130 pounds, and he plays soccer. He's not the greatest athlete of all time. Stop right there. Period, stop. We can just end that argument, right? That's Michael Jordan. Did you?
LeBron.
Anyway, Wilt. On and football. How many? So he's better than
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson and Earl Campbell, and just please stop. Stop with that.
Yeah, he could be greatest soccer player of all time, but we've seen some dudes. Barry Sanders,
dude,
it's pretty.
Miles Garrett,
Miles Garrett,
one of my favorite players of all time, and I would go pound for pound. I'd just throw it out there, pound for pound, maybe the best athlete in the history of football. And I don't think most people have an appreciation for this because obviously I'm a O-line aficionado freak. Larry Allen, back in the Cowboys days, and went to Pro Bowls at right tackle, at left tackle, at both guard positions. Larry Allen, we used to joke around in the locker rooms about Larry Allen, that dude was the landlord. When he was playing guard, he owned that real estate between center and tackle. You paid rent in there, and guys were afraid to play against him. He's 6'4", 335 pounds, could stand flat-footed and two-hand slam and break the glass, bench press 700 pounds. He ran 4'6", 840 or whatever. He is maybe the greatest athlete I've ever watched. And we would mess with guys. Like when I played for Denver and we were playing the Cowboys and we played them several times, mess with the dudes that had to play with him. Like, dude, Larry Allen, man, we were just watching film. Dude, you do this. Like we'd go walk up to Trevor Price and go, dude is freaking throttling people. Have you watched him? You know,
just a mess. Because you don't got to go against him.
No. Just I mean, Stoker, the Fire's like, dude, he just is killing dudes, man. I've never seen anything like it. Right, so yeah, guys would get the Larry Allen flu when I was playing. So, so stop with the Messi stuff. But Messi was awesome. There's no question. All right, I'll give you that. Messi was awesome. Okay, let's let it lie at that.
Yeah, Larry Allen's the only offensive lineman I've ever seen have highlights that like you see. Like people like there's some with the Saints where he's running down the field just taking everybody out.
Well, yeah, where they threw a pick and he ran down a 4.6 40 linebacker.
Yeah,
ran him down and he was humming down the sideline. So yeah, there is like I always wanted to do this show, John. So maybe we start right here. This is the show I want to do, and it's every sport. And I think it would be a really cool project. Maybe it'd be for Omaha Productions. Omaha. Legends of the game that you haven't heard of. Locker room legends. Like there are guys that played in the league when I played in the league that are absolutely legendary. I mean, literally legendary. That the general fan has never, ever heard of. Because they're just legendary in the locker rooms because of, skill set or whatever, but never really made it mainstream. Maybe they played on a really bad team, whatever it is. But there are guys in every sport that are just like when you play a professional sport, everybody in there is a freaking alpha.
1%, best of the best.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you see a dude in there that wows and marvels the guys that are the upper 1%, like you said, the best of the best, and that dude wows guys in that environment. Those dudes are and if you played, there's not one guy that played against Jumpy Gathers that doesn't know who Jumpy Gathers is.
I'm not joking you. In my head, I was going to ask you if Jumpy Gathers, the forklift.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if that's so funny you bring him up.
So there's not one dude that played during my time that if I mention Jumpy Gathers, it doesn't send shivers up there. And I'm talking about all-pro Hall of Famers that are on this, like in the huddle going, I can't block this freak. Like these guys are in the Hall of Fame. I cannot block this freak. So I think it would be that for me. It'd be a really cool show because they exist in baseball, they exist in soccer, they exist in in professional basketball. There's just dudes that are different, even in the upper 1% of the elite. They're different, and I think it'd be a really cool show. But I don't know. Nobody wants to listen to me.
Yeah. What do you know?
No.
You only got 3 rings.
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know? It's John Davis filling in for Mike Evans and Brandon Stokley this morning. Speaking of your locker room teammates, once upon a time, Mark, the Broncos made a big signing. It helped push them over to the Super Bowl. Can Jalen Waddle have that type of effect on this team? We'll do that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at ColoradoRLE.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
Most home sellers get one offer, and it's never enough. Orchard changes that. With Orchard offers, you don't get one offer. You get multiple cash offers from serious investors all competing for your home. Here's how it works. An Orchard agent submits your home to their exclusive network of local cash buyers. They compete to buy your home. You choose the winner. No repairs, no showings, no settling. Get started with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recycle-On Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at Bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recycleon.org/Colorado.
Colorado's 150th birthday. What do you even get the state that has everything? Wildflowers, sunshine, 4 seasons in a single day? Seems like that's covered. How about the new 150th birthday scratch game from the Colorado Lottery? It's loaded with $150 prizes for you and helps give back to Colorado's great outdoors. Happy birthday, old buddy. Don't remember you celebrating my birthday, but I guess you're the big shot here. New 150th birthday scratch. Must be 18 to play.
I'm excited about it. You know, these cutting edge things that are new in medicine now, I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics. It works.
Henry Hinton decided to check out QC Kinetics regenerative treatments for his aching knees after seeing a close friend have amazing results without going under the knife.
I have a friend that started this, which is one of the reasons that I decided to do it. He could not play golf anymore, and he went to QC Kinetics and started having the treatments, and he's back golfing like 3 days a week. He couldn't play at all.
QC Kinetics gets you back to doing what you love, using your own natural biologics to help heal and restore damaged joints. Long-term relief that puts a guy back on the golf course.
You know, I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference. QC Kinetics works. I'm excited about it.
You're next. Start with a call to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Peanut butter and jelly. Music and dancing.
salt, and pepper. At Excel Energy, we believe some things just work better together. Like an electric heat pump, the 2-in-1 unit that can both cool and heat your home. And better yet, it does so using energy more efficiently than a traditional HVAC system. Better yet, you can also save money installing a heat pump with rebates at excelenergy.com/heat pumps. Cooling, heating, and savings. All in one comfort, all in one package.
Stream Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Self-defense lessons.
I tased him.
Taste them. Taser always works.
That's right.
Southern charm.
Look at the boys.
With some classic impressions.
He put his pitchfork down and he grabbed his sledgehammer and he said, "Hey, you want some of this?"
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Happy as a clown. What need worry?
John Davis sitting in with Stink today. Mark, we were having a good time reminiscing about jumpy gathers last break, through the break and last segment. Mark, I watched the Broncos my whole life. I have a great memory. I remember so much about the Broncos. So I don't want to bring up – I have to start this by not bringing up the best memory, 96 loss to Jacksonville. You guys can't – struggle to get Mark Brunell off the field.
Right.
Is kind of the thing going on there. That offseason, go out, bring in Neil Smith. Neil Smith, kind of free agency still within its first 5-6 years.
Right, yeah.
And things like that. So you bring in Neil Smith, and he plays this big role in you winning the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of really helps the offensive line or defensive line. Kind of a guy his size, kind of weird to call him dynamic with things he could do, but he punished the Broncos for a year. Kind of helps them get over, fulfills that gap that they didn't. You all didn't have with chasing Mark Brunell around. This year, the Broncos, they got further than you all did in 96, but they go get Jalen Waddle. Different position,
right?
But a guy at a position of need.
Yeah.
Can Waddle have a Neil Smith-esque effect on this Broncos team as far as kind of pushing them over the line?
Yeah. You know, it's funny you bring up that game, and I always think I don't think about the defense not being able to get Mark Brunell off the field. I think about us game planning wise and how I, going into it didn't like I told my wife on a Wednesday after we put the game plan, I don't like this game plan. I don't like what we're doing. And she's like, why? And I go, because we're doing a lot of what we would call back in the day check with me or, can it packages. They call them today, can it. So basically you're running essentially two plays. You got a run play called, but if they give you a certain look, you're going to check it in because we liked our matchups. It was kind of a matchup deal. Ultimately, in that game, Terrell Davis had 13 carries or something for like 95 yards. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. But they kept checking us out of what we do best. And I always think about complementary football. And it's just not complementary between offense and defense. Like, to me, Mark Brunell's not running around on the field killing us. If we are running the football, controlling the clock, right? If we are doing those things, he doesn't have time to do that. And we win that game. But who knows? Like, that's what I don't like. So fast forward to your question about Waddle with just giving some context. The Waddle thing to me is the guy is supremely gifted. And I was talking to Sean when I went over to minicamp and sitting in his office talking to Sean going, it's not your ability to run fast because he can run fast. He's probably the fastest dude on the team, right? But it's your ability to stop fast. And I've had multiple coaches, offensive coaches, receiver coaches, offensive coordinators, always talk about your ability to stop. And that's what sets you apart, because if you can stop and get in and out of breaks, then even if you're not the fastest dude, but you're the fastest at stopping, now all of a sudden I can create separation. And so when you look at Waddle, not only can he run by you if you're the outside and you get a one-on-one, and so you get to take a shot down the sideline with Waddle, and he can outrun everybody, but it's all those intermediate and lower routes, in-cutting routes that he puts his foot in the ground and explodes out of that stuff. And the majority of his big plays, when you watch him, are all caught at about 12 yards. They ran something in Miami. Tua And Tua, for all the things that he doesn't do well, one thing he does well is off the play action stuff, the anticipatory throws to an area and let his receiver break and just hit it full stride. He may be the best in the league at that. But that's really the only thing he's been doing well of late. So when you watch Waddle, I can't tell you how many times, I've done a bunch of Miami games, I can't tell you how many times he'll catch the ball and it'll be just thrown to an area where he's in-cutting it about 12 yards and catching it on a dead fly and then just outrunning the defense. I mean, he just is a freak show. But not only that, you start thinking about, okay, if we put him on a single receiver side, you know, are they gonna on that side double team him, or are they gonna hold the safety over the top on a consistent basis so that now all of a sudden your run game theoretically becomes better over there because guys aren't inserting so fast when they get their run keys. They've got to make sure that, hey, we got to stop Waddle over the top before we play the run, which even if you get an extra yard before that guy puts his foot in the ground and comes down like a safety, you get an extra yard. Well, shoot, that's the difference between a guy hitting you at on the line of scrimmage and you gaining 2 yards and the guy hitting you, you know, a yard and a half away or 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage and you getting 4.5. And there's like that 2 yards of real estate is a huge, huge difference because the difference between 2nd down and 9 and 2nd down and 5 or 4 or 6 is everything in your playbook is open at 2nd down and 6 or 2nd down and 5. Very few things are open in your playbook at 2nd down and 9 or 2nd down and 10. And so theoretically, because of the threat of that speed, which we've had speed guys, but we haven't had guys that can do everything that Jalen Waddle can do. Like, hey, Marvin Mims can run fast. You know, he's a good gadget guy, and you know, Troy Franklin that dude can run fast. But do you have the full complement of routes? And that's what Waddle gives you. He's like a fast dude that when you line up outside, if he goes deep, he just doesn't have to stay out there running those routes. He can run anything on the tree, and that's really where he should give that kind of quote unquote, you know, Neil Smith effect that you talked about with that defense.
Yeah, and what I like about Waddle, and you talked about it, is I've always felt if you beat a team deep, the 60-yard bomb, the defense can say, oh, they got behind us.
Right.
And you can kind of mentally move on. Where you see defenses get demoralized, you talk about that Jacksonville game, you know, the complimentary football, is when it's 8-9 yards every single play.
Yeah.
And they just can't stop.
I'll tell you what's even more, and this is where the Broncos really need, you know, we talk about Bo Nix development. We talk about, you know, where they need to go on or offense and this, that, and the other. Where that really becomes, because I've been firsthand in this, when you're running the ball and every run is positive and every run is churning and you're getting ugly 4s, ugly 5s, and it's just a mosh pit, watching the defense while you walk back to the huddle and all of a sudden it's 2nd down and 4, screaming at each other.
There you go.
And it's that is the most demoralizing thing when you know I'm running it, I know I'm running it, everybody in the stadium knows we're running it, and we're going to convert. Like, running the ball to me, like, I used to get Philadelphia Eagle fans really pissed at me when I worked at ESPN because they led the league in rushing under Chip Kelly. And I used to say all the time, they don't know how to run the ball, right? And I think maybe it might have been even Andy Reid with Shady McCoy, whatever it was. But I was like, they don't know how to run the ball. And people would go ballistic on me, going, you don't know football. Like, they lead the league in rushing. And I go, because why? Because they pop on 3rd down and 6, they pop 2 draws. One goes for 32. The other goes for, 58 because of LaShawn McCoy. But he averaged 1 yard a carry on the other 19 attempts he got, right? But you, in a passing situation, popped a draw. That's not running the ball. To me, it's exactly what I just talked to you about. It's when everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run the ball, including the defense, and you say, buckle up, Buttercup, here we come, and you run it anyway. And that's what to me separates good red zone teams from bad red zone teams. You can only scheme up so many things and get a dude wide open down there because it's hard. There's so much less real estate down there. But if you can just line up and say, we are going to smash this down your freaking throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. You want to talk about demoralizing a defense. But, that's one of those deals that is more to me a mindset than it is anything else. Because the easier thing to do is go, hey, man, let's, everybody's jammed down in here. Let's just throw the ball. We got some really nice one-on-ones. And so that to me is the essence of what makes you a championship kind of football team.
Well, we used to say it watching your championship run. We just sit there and go, just give it to Terrell 4 times.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they know it's coming. And that Jacksonville game, the one thing that's never brought up, Mark, the missed extra point. That screwed up everything.
Did it? I don't even remember.
Elam missed the first extra point.
I never did like that guy.
That screwed up everything.
No. Me and Jason are tight. He's my buddy.
That messed up everything. But, Mark, the Broncos have 2 position groups that I think is what makes them so effective, and I think it's what makes them different than the other teams in town. Is this still their identity? We'll get into that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition training camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Now that it's nice outside, I can't wait to spend time at my favorite outdoor oasis right in my own backyard. With my custom built-in grill island, comfy patio furniture, and blazing fire pit from O.W. Lee, I may never want to leave. Hi, this is Keith Lair with Lair Fireplace and Patio to let you know that we'd love to help you create your very own outdoor oasis in your backyard. Lair's offers the widest variety of top-quality O.W. Lee furniture and fire pits. With a great selection of in-stock items along with our custom ordering process, you can choose the exact style and color that will make your patio sizzle this summer. Lairs also sells the top names in quality barbecue grills and accessories to help you create an outdoor kitchen that will be the envy of your neighborhood. Lair Fireplace and Patio is Denver's oldest, most trusted name in barbecues and outdoor furniture. Family owned and operated since 1954. Go to LairFireplacePatio.com and see why O.W. Lee is the most sought after name in quality outdoor furniture and fire pits. That's Lair Fireplace and Patio, Denver's outdoor room experts.
Visit any of Lair Fireplace and Patio's beautiful showrooms.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. Summer is here, and if you're planning a home project this year, windows, siding, or decking, now is the time to sign before the snow flies. Don't wait. Get the project you've always wanted and lock in a low-interest loan as low as 6.99% for 15 years. You deserve to enjoy your home, and 5280 Exteriors makes it easy with financing built for real Colorado homeowners. Call today or visit 5280exteriors.com to schedule your free estimate.
Welcome to Whatever Bank, where we succeed in doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, hi. I normally get paid on Fridays. Is there any way I can get my direct deposit sooner?
Oh, you're serious?
You don't have to bank like that. Make the switch to KeyBank and get access to eligible direct deposits up to 2 business days early with Early Pay.
So it is possible.
Learn more at key.com/earlypay. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
What's up, guys? Philip Lindsay here. Summer is here. Tee times, perfect drives, and days on the greens. But if joint or back pain is keeping you off the golf course, it's time for you to discover Regen RX. Their shockwave, stem cell, and PRP therapy could be the key to reclaiming your swing. No surgery, no downtime, and no risk. Right now, get 50% off of your first shockwave therapy treatment in July. This non-invasive treatment helps reduce chronic pain so you can get back out there. Book your free consultation today and give them a call at 303-630-9770 or visit them online at regenrx.co.
There are so many out-of-state roofing companies and roofing companies claiming to be locally owned, yet owned by out-of-state private equity firms.
Denver Roof Pros is the real deal. We are truly locally owned and operate right out of Denver.
We've been serving the Front Range and the Eastern Plains from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs for 10 years.
Choose local. Choose DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
Colorado, make sure your AC is ready for summer. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning offers repairs, replacements, and tune-ups 24/7. Book at onehouraircolorado.com or call 855-1-HOUR.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is CHIP, C-H-I-P. Text CHIP to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's CHIP to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from DenverSports 1043 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Listener appreciation.
Our RamosLaw.com texters always answer the bell.
Mentorship.
You can't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. And words of wisdom.
Don't let my confidence offend your insecurity.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in today for Mike Evans. We're talking, what maybe we'll say legends of the locker room, players that you think aren't as obvious. Text them in 303-713-1043. Let us know those guys. Not again, the TDs, the Shannon Sharps, we know about those guys. But who are the guys? Any team, it doesn't even have to be Denver-based, but Denver-based players is always kind of who you want.
Yeah, it always just blows me away because you hear the stories, and some of the guys, it's not even that you haven't heard of them. Some of them are Hall of Famers, but they could do something, that was just insane. Like there's always stories floating around about Randall McDaniel, who's a Hall of Fame left guard. I mean, the guy was freaking phenomenal. He's a freak show athlete, but he could take two 45-pound plates and put them face to face, so there's no edge, there's no rim on them, and pinch them together between his thumb and fingers and carry them around. Like
I can't do that,
dude. I can't.
Wow.
I can't do any. Like my hands are so beat up. But like just like things that float around the league. Like, hey, you ever hear this about this dude? Stuff like that. So there's so many just great stories about guys that just. One of the things that just makes you realize, even a guy that played for a long time like me, you realize there are some people that are just like when randomly, like when we were following the Minnesota Vikings. I could not watch Minnesota tape to get ready for a game because the things that Randall McDaniel could do, he's an alien. I can't do that. He had horrible technique. Like technically speaking, his feet were a mess. He had that big like hockey leg. His left leg looked like a hockey stick. It was all bent out and weird, and so there was just a bunch of things that he did that nobody on the planet could do. I mean, he would step underneath himself constantly, which you're not gaining ground, and then be so quick, he'd make up for, like, just bad and just destroy people. So, anyhow, that legends of the locker room.
Legends of the locker room. We've already got a few coming in. We will talk about them. One of them is a guy, somebody wrote in Jumpy Gathers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We've we've got it with jumpy togethers. And with that, Stink, kind of one thing you talked about, a lot, when the Broncos were struggling post Super Bowl 50 and the roster construction, one thing you would continually point to is building from the inside out. And that's not something they were doing. When Sean Payton came in, there was very few moves, but they all, Malcolm Roach, everything seemed to be predicated on the interior, the offensive line and the defensive line. That's one reason I actually think that the Broncos are built to go further than the Avalanche and Nuggets, because it's not about who your top-end talent is. It's how you're built, and with that toughness. So, tough beginning to the year, new offensive coordinator, but because the Broncos' identity still lives in the trenches, they can be in any game. They can work through those growing pains because they know how to win at the point of attack.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think especially defensively, they're a problem. And, when you have the number of sacks that they got and you only create 14 turnovers, that's an anomaly that I don't think is going to ever happen again. I would be surprised if they didn't double that turnover number.
One thing I was wondering about that, is it possible when you're sacking the quarterback so much, you're just removing the opportunity for the other team to turn the ball over?
Well, here's the difference. Okay, so yes, to answer your question, yes, but why? Well, because the why is because everything you played, like the Broncos offense led the league in 3-and-outs through 3/4 of the season. The Broncos offense was horrible on first down running the ball. The Broncos offense just wasn't very efficient over the course of the season. So you get into a game where you're going to get pressure, and the coaches are saying to you, hey, listen, this is going to be a tight game. Like it's going to be a low-scoring, tight game. Just possess the ball. Don't throw it, And you look at, Tennessee right off the bat last year where they kicked, 4 field goals. And they sacked Ward 6 times. But you know what? If you can sit there and say, just the most important thing for us is possession, because this is going to be a field possession, low-scoring game that will be in because this offense isn't clicking yet. So I think there's a lot of that went into last year where teams are like, hey, they're going to bring pressure. Vance Joseph going to dial up a bunch of simulated pressures. They're going to get to our quarterback occasionally. That's going to happen. Your job as a quarterback is to know that we're not getting blown out. We will be in this game regardless. The only way we're not in this game, even if we give up 6 sacks, is you turn the ball over. So then it just becomes about possessing the ball, punting the ball, playing that field position game, and all those things. Now, you mentioned complementary football. Shoot, if we can offensively have this kind of renaissance, if you will, where we're productive, and now we're up by 7 or now we're up by 10, well, then those turnovers are going to come because at some point you got to get back in the game. So that pressure is going to lead to a tip ball, to whatever, a bad throw, whatever. That'll happen. But a lot of the reason it doesn't happen, well, one, Hufanga dropped 4 or 5.
There's multiple times last year 2 guys went for the interception, and they just ran into each other.
Right.
That whole Giants game, they kept doing it.
So there's all those things. I think all those things are true, and I'm with you. I think the other thing that's really interesting, because you mentioned these 2 lines of scrimmage, and when you start looking at all the people who rate things and have some type of algorithm or some type of statistic to rate offensive line.
The data freaks.
Yeah, the data freaks that their win rate and run blocking and their dot.
They do football via math.
The bottom line for me is there are too many mental errors up front, and that's what costs us big run opportunities. And so that has to be cleaned up, and that's exactly, I believe, what Davis Webb will do. And I just talked to him briefly, 5 minutes, 6 minutes on the field. But, he's got a purely kind of West Coast – I know it's Sean's kind of West Coast mixture offense, right? But a lot of West Coast principles in there. But he wants to simplify things to, here's our core value runs. And here are all the things that we run off our core value runs. And Sean likes a big menu, right? He wants to be – I want to run power, and I want to run gap, and I want to run duo, but I also want to run toss, and I want to run pitch, but I also want to run wide zone and tight zone and da-da, right? And I want to be able to run belly weak, but I also want to be able to run tight zone strong. And I want to be And at the end of the day, you got 9 different concepts, and I want to throw in some wham and trap in there, and so you got 9 or 10 different concepts that you run, and it's hard to become an expert at any of those things. And I understand when you pop them, man, and you're clicking, it's great. But to me, the problem is when I watch the Broncos on tape, they just make too many mistakes. They make too many identification mistakes on linebackers, who we've got, who we don't have, safeties that roll up into the box. Are we going to push out to that guy and block him, or are we turning that over to the slot guy? Like, there's too many mistakes, and that's really, more than anything, in my mind, what has cost them opportunity in the run game.
That's something we're going to keep diving into, because I think the reputation of the offensive line is one of the best in the league. Mm-hmm. But obviously you're saying things that, while you're not saying they're bad, there's ways to improve on that O-line.
Right. They can be dominant. It's great. You can dominate on the line of scrimmage. You can dominate one-on-one your guy. But if you don't get to the second level, and then linebackers just having they're just having tackling practice. And so those are the things that you look at and go, you got to clean that stuff up.
Yeah. And our training camp shirts are back today from noon to 1 p.m. It's the first giveaway of our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 T-shirts. We'll be at Santiago's Mexican Restaurant, located at 2501 Ford Street and Golden. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt. Bold predictions about the Broncos, and we want to keep it coming on the RamosLaw.com text line, Sean Honda YouTube chat. Players, legends of, let's go with Colorado sports, legends of Colorado sports that aren't as known to everybody else. Keep those coming, and we'll do bold predictions. We'll do it all next.
ESPN polled NFL execs, coaches, and scouts to rank the best players at every position, and the Broncos skill guys got dismissed. Bo Nix led 7 game-winning drives, took Denver to the AFC Championship game, and didn't crack the top 17 quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Courtland Sutton just made the NFL top 100 for the first time. The team added Jalen Waddle, and nobody outside of Colorado seemed to notice. Are the league's decision-makers sleeping on Denver's offense, or is there work to be done on Davis Webb's side of the ball? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at ColoradoRLE.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All right, Broncos country, listen up. Philip Lindsay here. And for stress-free summer travel, I chose Hermes Worldwide. Forget the airport chaos. Hermes Worldwide offers comfortable, reliable transportation for your airport transfers and more. They're dependable, they're professional, so you can focus on your vacation. Make your summer travel easy. Give them a call today at 303-577-7600, or you can visit them online at ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Again, that's ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
In Colorado, relationships matter. That's why professional contractors across the Front Range choose Western Pacific for doors and millwork. For 35 years, this family-owned, locally operated supplier has delivered quality products, next-day delivery, and quick will-call service that keeps builders on schedule. From new construction to remodels, their experienced team is committed to helping contractors succeed. Visit GoWestPack.com. Western Pacific, local ownership, professional expertise built for Colorado contractors.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Usually when something sounds way too good to be true, it is. Imagine someone says you can cut your mobile bill in half. Sounds like a fantasy, but with Xfinity Mobile, it's a real deal. Because when you have Xfinity Internet, you can cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year, no commitment. That's a lot of streaming, sharing, scrolling, and whatever else you can do with your phone, all for half the price and none of the commitment. What that means, you'll save big over Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Now all you have to do is think about how you'll spend all that extra money. Call 1-800-XFINITY, go to XfinityMobile.com, or visit a local Xfinity store to switch today. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Savings compare one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes and fees extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Every day, cyclists across Colorado are seriously injured by careless drivers. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting to make those drivers and their insurance companies held fully accountable. We know these cases, we know how to win them, and we won't stop until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you've been injured in a bicycle accident, call the Wilhite Law Firm today, 303-GOOD-LAW, or visit WilhiteWins.com.
When disaster hits your home, it's game time. Water in the basement, fire damage, mold creeping in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call Able. Able Restoration is your first round draft pick for emergency response, mitigation, and full rebuild. We move fast, protect your property, and fight for you with insurance start to finish. This isn't practice. This is your home. And when it's time to step up and protect what matters most, bring Able to the table. Call 303-590-5600. That's 303-590-5600. Go Able.
Bring Able to the table.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
The Sherwin-Williams Summer Sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
This segment on The Fan is built by Denver Deck Builders.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Bold takes.
I would put my fajitas up against any Mexican restaurant.
Active listening.
You weren't listening to a word I just said.
Plus, a little number crunching.
What's 12 minus 1? 12 minus 11. 1. This is why math confuses me.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in today. Keep them coming on the RamosLaw.com text line, Sean Honda YouTube chat. players, legends of Colorado sports we don't normally talk about. We'll get to those at the top of the hour. You got one?
Speaking of a legend, I talked to Mike Evans yesterday, and I just gave him a heads up. I didn't tell him exactly what was going on here, but I did tell him we have been unrelenting when it comes to bashing him for good reason. And when he gets back next week, he's going to have to pay the piper.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
He's
So he's going to his weekend with his fellas.
The Treehouse?
Yeah, the Treehouse gang or whatever, to show him his waxed back. So I asked him if he got the Brazilian with that, but he had no comment on that.
Gross.
Gross. Anyhow.
He'll probably come back with some story about how great everybody thought he was.
Yeah. But I just told him, I said, set your jaw on Tuesday when you come back because you have been. I mean, everybody's been piling on. So it's been great. It's been a fun. Well, it's day 4 of the. It's kind of like our own little Mike Evans smear campaign since he's been gone. So it's been we've had a lot of fun with it.
Real quick, my favorite moment with you and Mike ever was about 8 years ago. I was back there. You were talking about which Batman characters you were, and you told Mike he's the Penguin, and then you clarified he's the Danny DeVito Penguin.
I am a jerk.
And he was like, I am not.
Yeah, all right. I don't even remember it, but that lines up. That sounds like something I would say.
And Mark, with that bold predictions, Broncos, one that came out, Zach Allen predicted that this Broncos team could break the sack record set by the Bears, the legendary Bears team of the 80s. Kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah,
that Zach Allen makes this prediction.
If somebody would have made it from the Cowboys, like Quinnen Williams, who they made a trade for from the Jets, if he would have said that, or somebody on the Giants or
Micah
somebody.
If Myles Garrett in his press conference with the Rams was like, we're going to break the sack record this year,
then it'd be a huge story, be plastered all over ESPN. But because Zach Allen, who's a humble dude and not a good player, a great player, said it, and nobody really, it didn't get any national attention. And I think it's really interesting. Part of it is because it's the Broncos, and let's face it, it's the off season, and when you're talking about national television, and like before I got fired, like I was part of this, is the Broncos are on a persona non grata. We don't talk about the Broncos. They're like I always say this because I have grandkids. They're like Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. Like you don't know Encanto probably because you don't have little kids running around, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't talk about Bruno. So it's like the Broncos are one of those teams that you really, the only time you really talk about the Broncos, there'll be parameters on it for national television. So if it's Sean Payton said this to Kay Adams, we will run with that because Sean Payton gets loose, has a couple of lattes, and the next thing you know, he starts spewing stuff like that's chaos. The worst. Yeah, that's the worst coaching job we have ever seen in the history of the National Football League, right? And then everybody goes, right, yeah, but everybody goes crazy. So Zach Allen saying it is probably flies under the radar. But here's what I love about that comment, because I think some people could point to that and go, well, that you should be focused on winning championships and not sack records and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's the ultimate compliment to your defensive coordinator.
To VJ.
Because what you're saying, hey, Nick Benito's going to get his, right? Zach Allen's going to get a ton of pressure. He's going to get a ton of QB hits, and he's going to get his 7.5 or 8, whatever he gets, right? Who comes off the other edge? Is Cooper even available? I don't know, but Cooper's a great football player, but I think we've got enough depth off the edge to get some of that stuff done. So that's great, but you're going to get, 3 or 4 from Hufanga. You're going to get, another 2 from one corner, and another 1 from another.
Jaquan McMillan's going to get a few.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're going to from a scheme standpoint, it's not just we're going to line up and beat you up front rushing 4. We're going to rush 4, but they're going to come from all kinds of different areas. And it was like interesting when the Broncos beat the Jets in London last year.
The classic.
Yeah. But go back and look how many times they sacked the quarterback.
It was like 12. It was insane.
One of the things is every time they ran boot keep, fake to the left, call it fake 19 or fake, fake 15, whatever it is, and boot out, VJ had a blitz off that weak side back into the boot, and they got the quarterback like 3 times on that. And so I called up VJ after the game. I was like, what gives? Like, I had to tell on there, like, when they got into this personnel and
they got 9.
Yeah. And he goes, they got in this part of the field, and it was this specific. It was like this part of the field from this hash, right, in this personnel group, they're running like out of every 10 plays, they ran this boot 8 times. So every time we got in that position, I brought a blitz off the slot, and it was, again, it was simulated pressure. But they got to him. I mean, to me, it was, I'm watching film, I'm like, every single time. So you had to know something. And we always say from breaking things down, it's like always or nevers. Do you always get into this, or do you never get in that? Because those are the things you're looking for when you're game planning. So VJ had an always, what he thought was an always, and he dialed up the blitzes every time. And every time, I mean, every time he had a free rusher off the edge, off the slot, hitting the quarterback in the teeth. And it was masterfully done. And so, like I said, I texted with him. I said, give me the rundown. Like, what'd you see, what'd you do? And so he just, I can't remember verbatim. It's in my phone somewhere. But this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if this Broncos team doesn't break the sack record, they have the capability to make you feel like they're breaking the sack record out there. And that's kind of ultimately, I think, what your opponent believes you can do is important. And this Broncos pass rush is still going to have it. It's John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans. We'll get to your legends of Colorado sports, the unsung heroes and headlines, and we'll do all of that next.
3 and 9. That was Coach Prime's reality last season, and it forced a total reset. Deion Sanders told the country no more chasing 5-star mercenaries through the portal. This time, 43 transfers, 0 5 stars, all guys with something to prove. His words, hungry players who won't bolt at the first sign of adversity. And on the high school side, 20 commits for 2027. CU's best class of the Sanders era so far. So is this the blueprint that finally works in Boulder, or is it too little too late? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, Brandon Stokley here. Saving for retirement is one thing. Feeling confident about it is another. Before Trajan Wealth, I wasn't sure everything in my plan was working together. After Trajan Wealth, completely different story. My retirement plan is more solid, which makes me feel more secure for my family's future. Their fiduciary advisors help me understand how my investments, taxes, and estate plans should support each other. No pressure, no jargon, just clear explanations and real guidance. I walked out feeling prepared, confident, and honestly relieved. If you're ready to feel confident about where you're headed, let Trajan Wealth take a second look and help your confidence rise. Call my friends at Trajan Wealth today. 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1. Or you can find them online at TrajanWealth.com. They have offices in Broomfield, Greenwood Village, and Loveland. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC Registered Investment Advisor, and additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
It's easy to find your groove. As America celebrates, Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro, has more reasons to celebrate. Choose from hundreds of pre-owns, 40 under $15,000. GrooveToyota.com. Plus, Groove Toyota has more than 100 used Toyotas, including Toyota Certifieds, with full warranties available. Hurry into our Red, White, and Drive event. Groove Toyota. Start here, go anywhere.
Offer expires 7/31/26. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply. With approved credit call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
Peanut butter and jelly, music and dancing, salt and pepper. At Excel Energy, we believe some things just work better together. Like an electric heat pump, the 2-in-1 unit that can both cool and heat your home. And better yet, it does so using energy more efficiently than a traditional HVAC system. Better yet, you can also save money installing a heat pump with rebates at excelenergy.com/heat pumps. Cooling, heating, and savings. All in one comfort, all in one package.
For 90 years, Belco Credit Union has proudly called Colorado home. That's thanks to all our members who have helped us grow alongside our beautiful state. To celebrate our anniversary, Belco is offering a special low fixed rate on a new home equity choice line advance. If you've been waiting to start a new home renovation project, now's the perfect time. Go to belco.org/90 years to see full offer details. Equal housing opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. All loans subject to approval. Belco. Banking for everyone.
Summer weather can be full of surprises. If your home has been affected by the recent storms, trust a local professional roofer with decades of combined experience. Golden Spike Roofing is here for all your repair or roof replacement needs. Call today for a free inspection and estimate for roofing done right down to the last nail.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Joint pain is awful when you're the person who is fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only ones affected. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain. You see it. You see what they don't say, what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July. The days are long. The light hangs around. Time to be outside, moving, playing, living, and you're sitting it out. Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about getting that life back, because at QC Kinetics, that's what's happening every day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and back, they're finally stepping out of it with regenerative treatments done right in their office. No surgery, long recovery, or putting life on hold. Just real relief. The inflammation eases and the pain lets go. We hear it all the time, not just from patients, but from the people around them. He's back. She's herself again. So if this sounds like you or someone you love, go find out what's possible. QC Kinetics offers a free consultation to see if you're a candidate. Call 303-900-8986, 303-900-8986, with locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and the Springs. It's QC Kinetics.
Most home sellers get one offer. It's somewhere between lowball and not good enough. Orchard changes that. With Orchard's new Orchard Offers, you don't just get one offer. You get multiple cash offers from serious investors, all competing for your home. That's right. Make investors compete with Orchard's cash offer marketplace. Here's how it works. You work with an Orchard agent who submits your home to their exclusive network of hundreds of local cash buyers. They come to you with offers. You review them all and pick the best one on your terms. So you don't have to settle on one offer or worry about leaving money on the table. You see every offer side by side. That's how you know you're getting top dollar. Orchard Offers means no repairs, no showings, no drawn-out process. Before you accept any offer, see them all first. Get a free home valuation and see your offers today with Orchard Offers. Go to Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Shh, here she comes. Surprise! They sent a duplicate shipment to your flower shop. Now you have to pay for 1,000 extra carnations. Also, there's a beehive outside your store, and they're super aggressive. There's thousands of them.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, the egg salad you just ate was expired. Gross.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Visit Allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Able Builders, it's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth. Music history.
I've now baptized you in the glory of Led Zeppelin.
Brutal honesty.
Today's just been a bad day for you, Mike. I don't know how else to put it.
And some questionable taste.
I do not heat up leftovers.
Oh, my
I only eat
God.
leftovers cold.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans today and Brandon Stokley with Mark Schlereth. We're getting some good texts, Mark. You and I started with Jumpy Gathers.
Yeah.
One of your favorite teammates that never lifted weights and was stronger than absolutely everybody. Champ Bailey didn't lift weights either.
There's just some dudes that are just, you look at guys and you're like, in a locker room full of freak shows, that dude is the freakiest of all the freaks. Like,
and don't try to be like that,
right?
Because you won't do it.
Right, that dude will ruin, like, not Champ Bailey. I'm not saying this about Champ Bailey, but guys like that will ruin young guys' careers because they think they can just do what that dude does. No, you can't. That dude, you got to understand, of the upper 1% of people in the world that can play professional football, he's like, divvy that up, he is so much greater than even that 1%. Like there are certain freak shows that are just, you just marvel at them and go, don't watch him, because whatever he does, you can't do it. So don't watch that guy. You gotta play to your technique. You can't try to be that dude, because you will be out of the league going, what happened to my career?
What I was trying to be like this.
Yeah,
guy.
right.
Here's a good one, team. I always really like this guy, Keith Burns.
Burnsy.
All-time great special teams guy,
Yeah.
and that's on those type of Super Bowl runs. That's very necessary. He left and came back, I think, a couple times with the Broncos, but he's one of those unsung Denver Broncos.
Keith Burns is one of the great dudes that has ever played in this league. Total comic relief. Total
he tried
guy.
to do stand-up comedy.
Dude, he was freaking hilarious in the locker room. And he was that connective tissue between offense and defense. He's the guy that everybody loves and everybody gravitates to. And those guys are vital. Like, those guys are the lifeblood oftentimes that courses through the veins of a football team, right? And you got to have those dudes on your team. And so it was a big loss when he went to Chicago to be a starter. I think he was out there for a year or so, and then he came back to us. And it was just like, I mean, homecoming. It's like a prodigal son came back. So Keith Burns was one of those dudes that was just one of the great people, and absolutely hilarious. Brought comic relief, intense situations. Great practice guy, and just a unbelievable special team player for us.
Who are the other funny guys you played with?
Oh man, yeah. There were just so many dudes that were just subtly funny. Sharp was loud, but Sharp was funny. Like, Sharp was loud, funny. Glenn Cadrez is one of the funniest dudes I've ever been around, who is just so subtle.
Glenn Cadrez.
Yeah, so subtle in the way he operated. He is just, he is ridiculously funny. So that dude was great. There's just a bunch of, we're all a bunch of overgrown children in there. Anyway,
yeah, you're playing football.
Yeah.
My brother has a Glenn Cadrez jersey. That's his jersey he's got.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
just another one we got in there that people liked, Earl Boykins. That's one that I think everybody liked because the underdog, how did this guy make it this far?
Right.
So Boykins is phenomenal.
I think
player.
Boykins had this one drop on this station years and years ago. I think it was Boykin who said nobody sits in their yard and goes, countdown, when we were all kids and you're playing hoops and you're like, it's countdown 3, 2, and you take the 3-pointer. He goes, nobody goes around and goes, hey, it's countdown. I got the ball, 3, 2, pass it to Mello. It's like that's not what any of us did, right? So I think it was Boykins who did that. It made me just like bust out laughing at one point. But yeah, he's like those little dudes that make it, the Boykins of the world. The little guys like Spud Webb back in the day.
He could dunk.
I know. Well, they're not of this planet, most of these guys.
That's one of those guys you talk about athletes. It's just like, okay, because me and Spud Webb and I are the same height. I cannot dunk.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't get close. Nate Robinson is another one. Muggsy Bogues, obviously, is a big. That was because I played basketball growing up, and people would be like, I'd be like, I'm too short. I don't think. And they go, Muggsy Bogues. I'm like, you're picking the one guy out of like 10 million that made it. That's not
exactly
what's more likely,
right?
That I'm Muggsy Bogues or that I'm not. But big World Cup game yesterday, Mark.
Yeah.
We've got the call from Telemundo on Messi's goal.
Messi, primeros pens. Maca. Messi engancha y va, tiró con la derecha. ¡Gol!
Yeah. Do they not have a word in Argentinian? I assume that's Spanish, right? They don't have a word for goal. Why do they got to take our word? Or did we take their word? Is goal just is goal? You don't have
it's at least become universal.
You don't have a Spanish word for goal.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Somebody text in or look that up. Is it maybe because what it is? It's the best call, and maybe that's why it's been adopted. Is because the goal that's what gets over the most.
Right, but I'm just like, did we invent that word? Because if we did, we're kind of dominating soccer, even though we didn't win the World Cup, right? Or did somebody else? Is that a word that came from, Argentina or somewhere else that we adopted?
This is
the etymology of the word goal.
I'm just shocked that you're talking about the origins of the word goal, sounding very educated.
Yes.
But then you pull out etymology.
Yes, right, right. What is how do we get goal? Because that's I'm not fluent in Spanish. Pasa la leche, por favor. But I do know a little bit. That was pass the milk, please. I do know a few key phrases, and I think I heard in there Messi, 5'6", been standing around most of the game doing nothing. I heard, and then great foot-eye coordination, and then something to the effect of perfect pass, goal. So I don't know where the goal came from. That's all I'm asking.
Have you considered linking up with Telemundo? You're experienced in calling games.
Right.
You know how to speak.
Yeah.
You're fluent in other languages.
Yes, exactly.
This is where it's headed. So, big game yesterday. Real quick, Mark, is there anything worse as an athlete than blowing a lead late and losing?
Yeah, that's bad, especially if you're the guy that blew it. Like you're the guy that missed the goal, or you're the guy that sucked. Got all sucked up on Messi, and he gets the perfect pass across the goal mouth. You blew it. Then, because you look back and maybe the rest of the world doesn't really know, but all your teammates know, everybody else knows. They're like, that's when they come to the locker room and go, "Hey, man, not on you. Don't worry about it." Which means it's on you, dude. What were you even thinking about?
That's the worst thing. I do stand-up comedy, and the worst thing you hear is good set, because that means you just bombed, and you know it.
Right.
When somebody comes in like,
hey, good set.
Good set, and you're like, no.
Good effort.
No.
Way to try hard.
Yeah, way to try hard. That doesn't help. It's John Davis sitting in with Senior Mark Schlereth. You'll be hearing him calling soccer games in no time on Telemundo. The Denver Nuggets. Why have they not made a move? There's a few different reasons. We're going to rank what we think they are, and we'll do that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit one per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here. You thinking about losing that weight for the summer? Hey, before you think about GLP-1s, it can cost you thousands of bucks a year, and most of the times there's side effects, and then when you get off them, most of the weight comes back. How about a doctor-developed program that helps men and women lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days, safe and naturally? Guys, I tried the program. They reached out to me, said, "You sound exceptionally fat." And I said, "You know what? I am exceptionally fat. I'll try the program." 32 pounds in just 7 weeks with no injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. They use real food that you buy at your grocery store. So here's the program, right? You've got this app. You weigh in every day. You plug in what you eat. It'll tell you what you can, what you can't eat. If you got something on there that's not good for weight loss, it'll let you know that. And I'm telling you what, the weight is going to pour off. It's not one of those things they send boxes of food to your house and you just add water and pop it in the microwave. It is real food, fish, chicken, beef, vegetables, and fruits. And I'm telling you what, the weight will pour off. So for a free consultation, all you got to do is reach out to them. They'll call you back at ColoradoFatLoss.com. I'll tell you guys, it works and it was easy. ColoradoFatLoss.com for more info.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust?
everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Shop Honda keeps car buying simple. One price, one person, 1 hour means no games, no back and forth, and no dealer handling fees ever. Upfront pricing and one dedicated advisor who handles everything from start to finish. It's straightforward, stress-free, and honestly, the way car buying should have always been. At Shop Honda, the experience is just as good as the vehicle you're driving home. Discover the Shop Honda difference for yourself. Visit Shop Honda today, proud partner of the Dover and Cecil Show.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The hot weather is here. Stoke here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Has another company told you that you need a new air conditioner? Time to throw in the challenge flag. Rocks Heating and Air offers no obligation, free second opinions. They have amazing financing options and incredible rebates too, only from the best. ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Vantage Security Systems. Invest in real security for your home or business.
Stream Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I want it all.
Relentless mind games.
Are you trying to get me in an oh really right now?
Total accountability.
You're always throwing your teammates under the bus. That's just what you do.
And a sprinkle of advanced analytics.
The Boo rating, BOO, which is balls over opponent.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Mark, you asked about where the word goal came from.
Yeah.
And apparently we got a few texts. England invented it as the sports spread. That went with it. So so it's not our word. And then somebody wrote it's goal, G-O-L, with the accent above it. So it wasn't stolen from us. So we can't claim any sort of soccer dominance.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So we didn't invent it.
We didn't invent it.
We took it from England, probably during the 1776 Revolutionary War, right? We just took the goal. We'll take goal too.
We'll take goal
this
too.
Country. We're going to take goal.
We're taking the word goal. Is Mike Evans at one point going to claim it was actually him?
Yeah, he might. It might go on the big board that he invented, just like he said he invented the White Shadow nickname. He invented like
PFM.
Yeah, PFM. He invented the word goal.
Yeah, it's a Mike Evans. We'll just put it up there.
Yeah, right.
It's on brand with him. And we've got just keep them coming in. Colorado athletes. Tom Nalen, a guy you played with.
Yeah,
should be in the Hall of Fame. But I think Jaquan McMillan one day will be that guy that everybody thinks back to. They're like, you remember that guy? How well that guy played?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Like Jaquan McMillan is one of those dudes that, like, there's certain guys in the league that you're always trying to replace, and you just never can replace them because they're just really good. But like like all the tangible measurables, like he doesn't run, like he's not an elite level like 40 guy, or he doesn't have elite level short area quickness, or he doesn't have. It's like Chris Harris Jr. probably didn't have elite level anything. I mean, he's an elite athlete. Don't get me wrong, but in regards to playing professional, nickelback, it probably doesn't light up the combine testing, if you will. But he's a Hall of Fame great. I mean, not good, great corner in this league for a lot of years, and those guys are invaluable to your organization. Everybody loves those guys. Everybody loves the free agent that nobody expected to do anything, or the late round draft choice that comes in and plays great. Those guys are just kind of some of the pillars of your organization. And like I said, McMillan probably doesn't jump off the screen in any one category when it comes to kind of dominance in athleticism. He's just a great player.
He's a great player, and he's hard to replace.
Yeah,
kind of what he does. The Nuggets feel they have nobody to replace.
Yeah, apparently.
Because other than Jonas Valanciunas, they went ahead, and now that that's corrected, things are going to be fine. Mark, with the Nuggets, no moves so far. What do you think's the most likely? We heard that Jamal Murray was off the table in Jaylen Brown talks. So I find that interesting. So I want to know, do you think maybe Jokic is saying to the organization, keep him? I don't want this guy going anywhere. Could it be they don't have a dance partner? Or are they waiting for P.W. or LeBron, a big move there? What do you think's the most likely reason the Nuggets have not made a move?
Well, I think they look at themselves and they look at the guys that they have assembled, and I really think, John, they look at, well, if, and there's a big if we get P.W. re-signed, what he does on the perimeter to give us athleticism, both ends of the floor, all the different, defense. He's a guy that can guard the 3-point line. He can protect the rim. He can do some things there. That makes us a better basketball club. And so if we can get him done, maybe that, facilitates a move off of Cam Jordan. And so
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
There is a Cam Jordan.
Well,
that's
the Saints guy.
They're going to bring him in.
Right.
That's what they're waiting on.
Right. They're waiting on Cam Jordan, Cam Johnson. So, I think that there's some of that's going on here. I think the other thing is the Nuggets feel like, hey man, we've got another run with this group if we're healthy, which is always that's a really tough game to play. But my biggest issue during that playoff loss to Minnesota is you just got punked.
Right.
And so, when I watch, like the ESPYs were last night and Jalen Brunson won NBA Player of the Year. And you look at him here, there's a guy that people didn't think was going to be much, and what he get drafted by Dallas, played there for a while.
They didn't re-sign him. Yeah.
So here's a guy that, because of grit and toughness, and this is one of the things the Broncos have done a really good job with, Sean Payton, as far as the culture and building a football team, is it's not just about athletes, it's about the right guys. And you got to have those dudes. And when Minnesota comes out and just basically punks your ass and calls you out, and, I mean, when have you ever heard somebody go, they can't guard, nobody on this team, they're garbage when it comes to guarding people, and then calling dudes out by name, they can't protect the rim, da-da-da-da, and nobody responds to that?
Soft.
That's an issue. And maybe Gordon would be able to respond to it if Gordon was healthy, but he wasn't really healthy and this, that, and the other. So I think they think that if we're healthy, then we'll be right in there with OKC, with the Spurs. But that's more of a cultural issue to me within that basketball squad. That's one of those things, like I told you, Sean Payton will tell you, you got to get the right guys. And sometimes you got to get off a really good athlete that has the potential to be a really dynamic player, but he's not the right type of guy. And to watch them just get called out by name and then on the court get punked and not have an answer for it, like, Joker at the very end of a game when the game is done, now I'm going to go enforce on a stupid layup. Like, that's, dude, that too little too late.
Yeah.
And Joker is not your guy. You got to have somebody. Like, the one thing about Jalen Brunson, when you watch the NBA Finals, Jalen Brunson, I mean, he's shooting 29% or 30% or whatever it was, but you knew in the fourth quarter, man, I'm taking over. That's what he did.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And with that, the kind of to your point about how they got punked, and I look at that organizationally. Things can come from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
I see a team on the court that's having a hard time punching back.
Right.
Well, then I get to this off season, and everybody seems scared to do something bold to fix the team, and it's almost like this timid nature is coming from the top down.
Sure.
Like, who within the organization is sending that tough message? I know I've heard stories, and I'm putting a lot on Josh Kroenke here, of Pat Bolin on the exercise bike as athletes are coming in to work out. He's already there trying to do it. And that's just this weird kind of subtle message. And Bolin was always willing to be bold with his moves and figure things out. And he had a Jokic in Elway. He knew what he had.
Right.
And that's why things like Neil Smith and those big moves that we talked about earlier. And with the organization now, look, a bold plan could be, look, we're going to trade some of these guys. We're going to get lesser guys. We're going to reset for a year. We got a new plan going forward. Being bold and tough doesn't always mean doing the most exciting thing. It's doing the smart thing and being willing to do it. And it just seems to me what we see on the court, what we see in the front office, there's nobody in the organization that's just grabbing everybody and saying, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get better.
Yeah. So, and if your coach can't do that, then you got to have a player on your team that can do that. And if you don't have anybody on the team that can do that, then you got to shuffle things around. And I mean, that's just part of it. There's so many more things to being a great team. And it's easy to see a great shooter. It's easy to see a great athlete. It's easy to see, those things are easy to define or to see, but it's all the dirty work stuff that I think this team just needs to be a lot better at. And your lack of a response was just thoroughly disappointing. I think to everybody who's a Nuggets fan, everybody in this town, certainly to me, and I think anybody that was on this radio station, to watch them like fold like a cheap suit was disappointing.
And then there's no repercussions, may not be the right word, but by the lack of moves, the message is sent, we're okay with that. And that's kind of what makes me nervous.
Well, the message I think they're sending is that it would have been different if we were healthy. And we think a healthy Nuggets team has a chance to win the West. And so I think it just depends on, do you believe that or not? Right. I think they've convinced themselves that that's the situation. And so, I don't know what convinces you that you're going to that Aaron Gordon's all of a sudden going to be healthy for a year.
He's going to Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
He's going to get younger and healthier.
Again, I think those are the things you just got to think about.
John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans with My Guys Stink. Bold predictions for the Broncos. A bold one came from one of the players. Do we agree with it? We'll do all of that and more next.
The Nuggets got bounced in the first round, and instead of fixing the roster, they've spent this offseason chasing LeBron James, a 41-year-old who, according to Shams Charania, doesn't even have Denver on his short list. Meanwhile, Payton Watson is still unsigned. Wing defenders are vanishing off the market, and Jokic just pushed his extension to next year. So is the LeBron dream holding this team hostage? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, performance matters in sports, and let's be honest, performance matters in the bedroom. An athlete's performance can be explained away as a slump. For a man, it's not so easy. It can be erectile dysfunction. Fortunately, Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic are experts at treating ED. They use advanced medical science to empower male performance with therapies that go far beyond pills. So they have the science down pat, but having worked with them for years and having them help me boost my testosterone levels, I've seen their all-star staff in action. Professional, compassionate, understanding you're coming to them with some anxiety, maybe some embarrassment. They put you at ease and go to work putting together a customized treatment plan that could have you having great sex the very next day. So schedule a consult, just $99. You will meet with a Colorado licensed medical provider, take a TNPSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose does not work, your entire office visit is free. 5 locations around Denver to better serve you, including Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and Castle Rock. Call today, 720-440-7900, and at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here, now at McDonald's. Refreshers contain caffeine.
Cecil Lammy here for my friends SodaDietAndNutrition.com. They've got a big summer offer. You can get 4 weeks free. Call 866-800-SODA and mention this station, 104.3 The Fan. 866-800-SODA. Mention this station to get 4 weeks free. Their big summer offer going on right now. It's Soda, Diet, and Nutrition. I want you to call up 866-800-SODA. Listen, 5 years ago I lost 60 pounds with soda, and I'm never going back. Why? Because they taught me how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. And having those tools is amazing for your weight loss journey, because it's about knowing what you need every single day, and then having your own nutritionist, a personalized nutritionist with a personalized plan for you, the dynamic diet for you, custom built for you, so that you can lose weight and you can keep it off. And that's the main thing. 5 years have gone by and those 60 pounds are not coming back. They'll never come back, because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat, all thanks to Soda. SodaDietNutrition.com. Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Roller Auction.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is GOAL, G-O-A-L. Text GOAL to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's GOAL to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from DenverSports 104.3 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Sharp criticism.
Mark Schlereth a pansy.
Cries for help.
Dude, wake up.
No.
I need better from you.
And a little bit of tough love.
If the truth gives you a wedgie, then you know what? Buy better underpants.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
There's a fire, call the fireman. If you're in pain,
John Davis sitting in today for Mike Evans. We're going to get to bold predictions for the Broncos here in about 20 seconds. But first, summer is here, which means road trips. But with high gas prices, you're questioning whether or not to take that trip. Denver Sports is here to help. Enter for your chance to win a weekly $250 gas card and a possible grand prize of $1,000. All you have to do is listen for the keyword every hour and text it to 303-713-1043 before that hour ends. The more keywords you enter, the more chances you have to win. For complete rules, visit denversports.com/keyword. You doing any road trips, Mark?
I'm going out to Vandal Weekend this weekend.
My sister-in-law, Angie, Idaho Vandals, listening right now.
Yeah. Okay, Angie. Out at so it's me and a bunch of the guys I play college football with that are my dear friends. We have 12 guys show up at Vandal Weekend this weekend. We've been doing it. We really started it right after I retired from the NFL. So I think this is our 27th year in a row of getting together. So my buddy's got a what they call barn-dominium, big cabin barn-dominium.
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 Okay.
Yeah, it's
the most Idaho thing I've ever
right.
heard.
Well, yeah, you can look it up. Barn people do it all the time now. That it's just a
barn in a condominium.
Right. It's the barn-dominium. They pour a hard floor, like they pour a concrete floor, and then they build it to your specs. And his whole house is just like galvanized sheet metal, as and a roof, and it is freaking phenomenal. It's beautiful, and it's on like 10 acres, in I don't know what the town is in Washington, but it's right on Lake Roosevelt, and Lake Roosevelt is about a 150-mile stretch of the Columbia River that's dammed up at the Grand Coulee Dam. And so it's just this unbelievable scene, unbelievable weather, and we all get together, and this is like 27 years in a row of us just getting together and telling the same stupid stories, and we have, it wouldn't be Vandal Weekend without competition, so we've got a bocce ball tournament that goes on. We got a cornhole, beanbag throwing tournament.
Yeah.
We got all of these tournaments, and we're out on the water during the day. It's a blast to reconnect.
Just go the right weekend this year. Didn't you mess that up?
I did mess that up. Went the wrong weekend. Well, I was getting on the plane. Here was the story. So I'm leaving New York. All right, this is before I got fired, and I'm heading to Vandal Weekend, and I am like about ready to step on the plane, and I send a group text. So I was like, "Hey, can't wait to see you guys this weekend. Blah 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 blah. I'll land at such and such a time. Do you need to pick anything up?" And all of a sudden, I get a text back, "Dude, we changed it. It's next weekend." I'm like, "Okay, we changed it. It's next weekend." And then when one buddy Unger calls me, he goes, "Dude, I'm at Starbucks right now." And I go, "Okay, I'm drinking at Starbucks. Woo, okay, I'll see you in a couple hours." And I hung up the phone with him, and I was like, "Wait a minute," because this guy is going to go hard. That dude was stone cold sober. I go, maybe there's something to this. They moved it to the next weekend. So they literally, then I had called another buddy, and he goes, "Dude, I'm not. You're on the wrong weekend. Don't get on that plane." So I walk up to the gate, and I go, "Hey, man, I got to cancel this flight." And then I spent the next 15, 20 minutes kind of canceling my flight, changing my reservation to the next weekend. And my wife and grandkids just happened to be in Denver that weekend. And so I caught an Uber to the house and surprised everybody. And I was like the conquering hero. Oh, Popo's back. Woo! Little do they know that I completely screwed up the weekend.
Did you frame it like, I told you guys I was going to Idaho this weekend
Yes.
to drink it just so the surprise would be.
Yep.
And there was much rejoicing.
Right. Let's go to dinner, guys. Popo's home, total, made myself out to be the hero. And I was just completely off on the week. It's that I was so thankful I didn't jump on, just step on the plane.
Just these guys are messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, that was, you were completely wrong about that weekend.
Yeah.
But bold predictions, it's easy to be wrong about these because they are bold predictions for the Denver Broncos. So we're going to get into a few. If anybody has any, send it to our YouTube chat presented by Sean Ponda, RamosLaw.com text line 303-1043. Any bold predictions you have for the Broncos. Mark, here's one that I don't think. I don't know how this would happen. Bo Nix has the first 5,000-yard passing season since Patrick Mahomes in 2022.
Yeah, I like. You got to hit the 4,000 mark before you go to the 5,000 mark, don't you?
Yeah,
like,
you can't skip.
You can't
Yeah,
skip 1,000 yards. Yeah, I think that would be. I think that would for the Broncos. I think that would be. It'd be great, but it would also be not what they want to be. If that makes sense, right? So I think that ultimately what you want to be is a ball possession, be able to run the team, create big plays in the passing game, and I think you're really good if you become very balanced. So, hey man, we're averaging 130 yards rushing a game, and we're averaging 245 yards passing a game, whatever it is, right? And now we're sitting there as I would go that one unlikely. I would say bold prediction: the Broncos lead the league in offensive production.
Oh, there you go.
See, that would be that for me would be a bold, because I could actually make an argument that could happen. Hey, J.K. Dobbins stays. Now I sound like the Nuggets. J.K. Dobbins stays healthy all year. I love the fact that they went out and got Jonah Coleman, because I loved him coming out of the draft.
He's a great player.
And so, but they run the ball much more effectively than they did last year, which opens up their play action game, which opens up some easy, big time chunk production plays in the passing game, those explosives in the passing game, and all of a sudden they're in the upper echelon. They're number one in the league, averaging, I don't know what the number one team in the league averages, 411 yards a game or whatever, however they manage that. But that would be, to me, a really bold prediction that I think it would shock everybody, but I could actually make a very compelling argument that could be something they do.
Well, yeah, you add Waddle and then Dobbins stays healthy. The concern I would have with that is the tight end production.
Sure.
I think the depth there, Ingram would have to take off quite a bit. And we did see it last preseason. The biggest highlight of last preseason was Ingram going like 70 yards, and Davis Webb was calling that play. So it's one play to get excited about. But that is more bold. The Broncos leading in offensive production. To Bo specifically, if he's at 5,000 yards, to me something went really wrong.
Yeah.
That means you're playing from behind all year, and you're just having to throw the ball around. With Bo, too, I don't think success for me is predicated on Bo's yards. Bo's got two strengths to me. He's clutch, and he avoids disaster. And with those two things, those don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. But Bo's never putting the team in a bad position, and that's what allows him to succeed late. He's got better weapons around him now, so I do expect that yardage to go up. But Bo Nix's success and how he can get the Broncos to where they need to be, it's not that he suddenly becomes 2013 Peyton Manning, because that's not really who he's ever going to be. It's more towards that running the offense the way it needs to be. Everybody's involved. Yeah. But 5,000 yards, that's not what the Broncos or Bo Nix need to succeed.
No, I agree with that. I would like to me, Bo Nix leads the league in completion percentage. There's a bold prediction. Especially, he's had some errant throws and stuff, but there's a bold prediction that I think is actually attainable. Like he could.
What would need to change? Because we see him kind of hurried, especially in kind of those shorter routes. He can throw it high. The deep ball last year, he overthrew it against Indy and the Chargers, and I thought was interesting. They never tried it again for the rest of the year. It's not that they missed. They completely stopped doing it. Now, I don't know if that's routes or Bo's throw. So there'd have to be, for the completion percentage, what needs to change?
Yeah, so like when I was talking to Sean about Bo, and he says, like, he processes so quickly. This is a great strength. But he processes so quickly that oftentimes he's ahead of where he needs to be. So he's like, it's easier. Like, you can't get a dude that processes slowly to all of a sudden start processing fast. Like, that's virtually – everybody can get better through repetition and all that kind of stuff. You see it enough times, right? But you can't really all of a sudden start processing a lot faster. Right? It's just kind of one of those inherent things that happens. Like, you can either do it or you can't. And that's every position. Like the guys who become Hall of Famers, guys who become really good players, process really quickly.
Pat Surtain,
right? You like a guy like Chris Harris Jr. we were talking about, probably doesn't crack the top 10 in any physical category, but probably cracks the top 10 in processing skills. And that's why he's so effective at the slot corner. That's why guys that can play, you see guys in this league that aren't the most gifted athletes that just are always around the ball, always making plays. Those guys just process exceptionally fast. And I think it's a God-given ability. I just don't think you increase your processing ability. You know, when you take information in and instantly make a decision, like you can either instantly make a decision or you can't. It's just a God-given ability.
That's what TD was so good at.
Right. Like
TD was so good at that.
Vision, understanding everything, all those things. So I think what Sean was saying about Bo is he processes so fast. I can slow him down a little bit. I can do, but I can't speed up a guy who can't process. I can't speed that process up. So, like for me, slow down so that when you're triggered and ready to throw is at the proper time. That's why drops become so important. That's why playing under center, like I think you have to play under center a little bit more. And the Broncos were probably middle of the pack playing under center, but that's probably because like he gets too frenetic with his feet at times. So like part of Bo's process is going to be slow down, dude. It's all right. Be on time. And most guys are not on time because they're late. He's not on time because he's a little early.
And that's actually the better way to be.
100%.
That's way better. Is that he's ahead of it. Because the game now, in his third season, even though he's processing fast, they always say everybody when they first get to the NFL, they're like, I can't believe how fast everybody is.
Right.
And so the game should slow down for him.
Right.
It's on a lesser extent. It's what we saw with Payton Watson this last year.
Yeah.
Is the offensive side of the ball slowed down. Now, he was learning. He was just much more green than Bo. But you saw what happened in that year where he takes a leap. So hopefully with Bo, it's more that anticipatory accuracy, not getting that happy feet.
And for him, it's slowing down, trust the route progression, and trust where your feet are supposed to be. And I don't ever talk about this kind of stuff, but it's big five, little five. It's your steps and how those steps time up to your route combinations, and you have to be on time. Your guys got to be on time coming out of the break, because if they're not, if you're late coming out of a break, well, the quarterback theoretically should already be off of you. That's why you could see a dude like we were talking in the break about Jerry Jeudy. You go, well, I saw him; he was open. Well, yeah, but if you're late coming out of a break, right, guys are going to drop you because the quarterback already gets off you. So every hitch is designed when you get to the top of your drop, there's a rhythm throw. I mean, the ball just comes out. You hit that last step in your drop, the rhythm throw comes out. Then you hitch up once, that becomes your number one, or that it's not number one, it's number two, but it's the first hitch. And then the second hitch becomes the third guy that you're looking at, right? And you can be jerking around on the line of scrimmage, and that's the rhythm throw, and you're still covered at that point. So now you hitch up, you're already beyond that guy, and now the guy comes wide open, and everybody goes, Jerry was wide open on that play, or so-and-so was wide open on the play. Well, he was late coming out of his break. That's why it becomes wide open.
Everybody moved on.
The quarterback moved on, and so the defenders they're not stupid. They're like, I'm playing zone. That he's not going to that guy because he's already beyond him. So now I'm going to try to help take away this dude. And so those are the things that happen. And for Bo, he was just ahead of so many things, which is like that just goes to show you why they loved him so much, is because when you talk to Sean about just his ability, like of all the guys they went through and did the pre-draft workouts on and everything, they said Bo was an A+, just an A+ knowledge of the game. And then everybody else was kind of in the B's and B+, and then there was some C's and some later on grades, but he was an A+ learner. And so, yeah, you could see him, if he can slow that process down a little bit, he could be much, like he can increase from whatever he was, 63, 64% to 69, 70%. So I feel like that becomes a Drew Brees type of thing. This is what I need from you.
Yeah, and Brees needed some time too. So this would be kind of on that Drew Brees timeline. So with Bo, no, that's a really good spot for Bo to be. And I think we saw it as the year went on. Last year things did kind of slow down. And if guys don't drop the ball too, because that's a big one. So here's another bold prediction, Mark. Last one for Bo's stat line. Somebody texted this in. 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns. that's bold. I think that's obtainable for Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think that's right on par.
35's high, but
30. Well, yeah, I mean, but like you hit 30, 31, 29, and you have 5 rushing touchdowns.
That's great.
Right. So like I would just go 35 total touchdowns. I think that's 4,200 yards passing, and 35 total touchdowns is a doable situation.
That is. Bold prediction. Here we go, Mark. Broncos rank top 3 in turnovers. Let's just put it there. The Broncos rank top 3 in turnovers and it says and sacks. I was going to say turnovers and sacks. I don't think it's bold to say they're going to be top 3 in sacks.
No.
But turnovers and sacks. So this is really dependent on the turnovers. Here's my take on it. All offseason, this is what I hear. They'll get more turnovers. But why? I haven't seen it.
Right.
I did see the players colliding. I don't see the strip sacks. I don't see the ball being popped out. Not until they played Josh Allen. So I do think it's bold to say they'll be top 3 because they were so bad at it last year, and I didn't see any evidence to make me think that's going to change going into this year.
Right. I understand that. Like I get everybody goes, well, they're not going to win, all these one-score games that they won last year. The odds of that are like just about 0, right? And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. Like the odds of winning all those one-score games is not great, but also the odds of leading the league in sacks and not creating any turnovers is also not great. And I look at it like this. I think this offense will be more efficient. I think they'll run the ball with more efficiency. I think Bo will play, better in his 3rd year than he's ever played before. I think I don't think he'll regress. I think he'll just continue to improve. And I think this offense is going to put them in a position to have success to where this defense will thrive. So I would be shocked. Like I've said this many times, 14, I'd be shocked if that doesn't turn into 24, 28.
Just because the complementary element, the offense will take
I do believe the offense is just going to be better. And one of the things I think about with Bo, I think is well, why have they been able to come back in the fourth quarter? Certainly, he's got some ability to stay calm in those situations, and the moment doesn't get too big for him. But I think the other thing, John, is like when you get into those 2-minute situations, when you're in the end of the game, you're running your core 5 plays.
Yeah.
These are our core 5, right? This is what we run. And we can run these in our sleep. Well, guess what? It's not only Bo, but it's everybody else in that offense goes, I know exactly the point to hit. I know exactly. And you get a lot of times you get pretty vanilla looks, right? Because people are just trying to put a cap on the defense. And so they'll give you the underneath stuff. And so you get pretty rhythmic. You get into a rhythm and a pretty rhythmic offense in those situations. Well, Davis Webb said, "Hey man, I want to get to my core 5. I want to squeeze things down a little bit. I want to this kind of my thought process on this offense. I think that will only enhance what they do as an offensive squad. Is I go to Neil McCoy country song, small up and simple down. Just tighten it up a little bit. And so I think you'll see that this year as well.
And then that offense helps the defense. One thing I will circle back to this: the top 3 in sacks. That may not sound, that's not bold. They don't have John Franklin Myers, which I thought was
he had 7.5 last year.
7.5.
Yeah.
The Jonathan Cooper thing, we don't know how that's going to go. If he doesn't play, I think that's a massive problem if he misses time. Now, the trial may be pushed out. What I've always said about this defense, Benito, the ball snapped and the quarterback's going, what are you doing here? Benito's just there right away. And that really frustrates a quarterback. I felt they broke the quarterback when Cooper or Zach Allen hits him because those guys hurt the quarterback.
Yeah.
And when those guys touch the quarterback, you could see the quarterback basically say, my dream is to be in the NFL, but not today. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. If Cooper's not able to be there to do that, and John Franklin Myers isn't kind of there to do what he did, because they had 4 guys with 7.5+ sacks.
Yeah.
This dominant Broncos pass rush that we're just assuming will continue to be elite, there's a few things there that I could see maybe not drop him out of the top 10, but not necessarily put him in the top 3.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that, and I get, the John Franklin Myers thing. I think they feel like they're pretty good, rotationally with the guys they've drafted, and and I'll trust the organization that knows those guys better than I know those guys. So I'll give them that. The Jonathan Cooper thing to me is interesting because I do think, and I said this last year, I think he's your best front seven player.
He's believe it or not, he's underrated with what he does on the field.
Completely underrated. And he may not have the initial get off of Nick Benito, who probably has one of the top 3 or 4 get offs in the league, which is that's an issue, right? Because they're on you before you can get set. So his get off time is ridiculous to your point. Yeah. But when it comes to reestablishing and setting the edge in the run game, to just being physical and wearing dudes out in pass pro, like Jonathan Cooper is unreal in those areas. And so hopefully he's okay and he's going to be good to play. And, obviously it's a tenuous situation and it's a, really bad look, but I'm hoping for the best for Jonathan Cooper because I think he's a very vital player on this team. And like there's a reason guys are backups and sometimes guys get an opportunity to start, but your main guys, like those dudes play for a reason. So, whether it's Jonah Ellis or it's, somebody else coming off the edge, like you love to have that depth, and Jonathan Cooper's a big part of that.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper, and that I see people say, because Von Miller's out there, people have said, well, he had more sacks than Jonathan Cooper. My response to that would be go ask all the other offensive coordinators who they'd rather play right now, Jonathan Cooper or Von Miller. And they don't want Cooper out there on the field. There's a lot of good stuff coming in here on the RamosLaw.com text line and the YouTube chat presented by Ham Shonda. We've got headlines of the morning, and we'll continue going with some of these Broncos bold predictions because there's some good stuff coming in. We'll continue to do all of that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Denver Deck Builders wants to build you a 50-year deck that is your ultimate outdoor living space where you will want to spend most of your time making memories with families and friends. Denver Deck Builders has been doing all of that for families for over 12 years now, making them the #1 deck builder in Colorado. Terrific design team, only the best materials like Trex, expertly led install crews that always deliver to meet their high standards. Whether it's building you a new deck, repairing or replacing the one you have now, or transforming that lonely concrete slab you have coming out of your walkout basement, Denver Deck Builders works with you to build your dream outdoor living space. Composite decks, multi-level decks, patio roofs, new rooms below it, pergolas, deck lighting, outdoor kitchens, and more. Denver Deck Builders is a 3-generation success story with guiding principles built around doing the right thing, especially when no one is watching. Knowing that anyone can do it fast, not everyone can do it right, and knowing ultimately at the end of the day the customer decides whether we got it right. Denver Deck Builders, go to ddbonthefan.com. That's ddbonthefan.com.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Hey, it's Zach here. If you're working on your home this summer, lock in a low-interest loan with 5280 Exteriors, as low as 6.99% for 15 years. Get those dream windows, siding, or decking project. Visit 5280exteriors.com. The altitude of quality.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has stood beside Colorado families after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion won, we know how to fight for you. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com.
This segment on The Fan brought to you by Denver Roof Pros.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. KKFN and KKFN HD1, Longmont, Denver. Powered by Able Builders, it's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth. Music history.
I've now baptized you in the glory of Led Zeppelin.
Brutal honesty.
Today's just been a bad day for you, Mike. I don't know how else to put it.
And some questionable taste.
I do not heat up leftovers.
Oh, my
I only eat
God.
leftovers cold.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in today for Mike Evans. We're going to get into some headlines and some more Broncos bold predictions, but first, we got our training camp t-shirts back. Today, from noon to 1 p.m., it's the first giveaway of our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We'll be at Santiago's Mexican restaurant located at 2501 Ford Street in Golden. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to denversports.com/t-shirt. Mark, we're looking at some of these bold predictions. How about this one from the ramoslaw.com text line? Troy Franklin finishes second in receiving yards for the Broncos.
That's just a dumb prediction. That's not a bold prediction. That's a dumb prediction.
Why is that dumb?
Oh, because, I mean, he's not going to get that. He's not going to get those opportunities. I mean, you're going to get those opportunities. You're going to go to Cortland Sutton and then Jalen Waddle. So you're going to be
just a volume thing.
Yeah, you're going to be fighting time at that third wide receiver, and and ultimately, if you're in three wides a bunch, which a lot of teams play out of three wides a bunch, I'm assuming you're going to be that third wide. Then all of a sudden, Jalen Waddle comes maybe a slot player, and you're an outside player. I just don't think there's going to be that many opportunities for him. The bold prediction would be like something like we get some type of production out of our tight end, because that was like last year was the quietest 50 catches you'll ever see from Evan Ingram.
He had 50?
He had 50.
I would not have. I haven't looked at it. A lot of times I don't look at stats because my eyes tell me. I didn't
Yeah.
see him catch a lot of balls, so
Right.
I would not have guessed.
Right.
It was an ineffective 50.
Right. Well, most of the time it's, check flat. Check. You're spotting up over the ball, or you're hitting a defensive end, and then you're flying out into the flat to be, that dude. So it just wasn't a dynamic 50.
No.
I think he had the one jerk route against Washington that went for a lot of yards.
Bo set that up really well.
Yeah.
And he had that, and he had that really good touchdown in the comeback against Philly.
Okay.
And that was kind of him. One thing I liked about Evan Ingram that I'd like to see more of, and I don't know if it was a lack of a concerted effort or him not being where he should be, as far as last year's offense, he seemed to north-south better than anybody once he got the ball. Once Ingram had the ball, he seemed to turn upfield quicker and head downfield. And that's why I was frustrated in certain spots. I'm like, get him the ball, because he gets upfield better than anybody.
Right.
But again, I don't know if it's he's not open, what's happening. They need to involve him. The Broncos, I like to dive into the history. As far as tight ends, your team, Shannon's the guy.
Right.
You had Chamberlain and Carswell.
Mhm.
Those are two dudes that could play. And I think Chamberlain went and started for
Minnesota.
Chicago in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota. The 2013 team, you had Julius Thomas, Tammy, Dreesen, Virgil Green.
Yeah.
Even the Super Bowl 50 team, it's Owen Daniels, it's Vernon Davis, it's Virgil Green. So when the Broncos have succeeded at a high level, it's not one tight end. They got a whole room of guys that can play and are effective and know where they need to be. And right now we're sitting here hoping we can get something out of just one guy who would not have been an elite guy, would not have been the elite guy in any of those other rooms the Broncos have had. So it's got to be a pretty big leap for anything, and that's why I think you're right. It is a bold prediction that the tight end is going to pop this year for the Broncos.
Yeah, and they've got to find one. And if it's not Evan Ingram, which I think they have their doubts about, then it's got to be somebody else. And so it'll be really interesting to see how they integrate the tight end into this offense and how much production. And there were times like this was just like they get into the red zone, and I did an 8-game breakdown, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but most every throw was him blocking for 1,001 and then just checking out, whether he was just running a little arrow route or a spot route or whether he was running a flat route. Like those were the 3 routes he ran most. But there were a bunch of times in the red zone where they got him in one-on-ones down the seam and things like that where he was open, and he and Bo just didn't connect. Either Bo didn't throw it, or he did throw it, but it just wasn't a great throw. And then, or he threw it and it was a great throw, and Ingram just didn't make a great catch. Like it would have been one of those plays where you'd been like, oh, that was awesome throw into a, what a dime shot that was, and what an unbelievable grab going up and beating the defender on it. None of it happened. And so, like I said, it's the quietest 50 catches that you've ever seen.
What needs to happen? Is it play calling? Is it middle of the field? Is it Ingram's effort? Is it Bo and him just getting on the same page? Because this is the same tight end room. All due respect to Adam Troutman, I don't think we see him enter the Brock Bowers conversation.
It's going to be the year Trout.
What does need to change? Is it just simply the play calling with Evan Ingram?
Well, I think the play calling, and part of it is trust that Evan's going to do the right thing, and get himself open. And then I think there are some times where I think last year he was never really I shouldn't say never. He was very rarely the primary. Right?
That was a big thing.
The guy that you've designed to be the guy that gets open. So he wasn't really the primary. He was always a secondary route, a spacing concept or whatever. And so I think part of that comes play calling is let's get the tight end involved. Let's make sure that we get him some touches and catches, not just on checkdowns. So he turns around and 3 guys are bearing down on him. And like you said, you got to just you got to just spin around and try to go get something out of it. But where we can get him the ball while he's on the move in a low cross or a deep over or down the seam or whatever. So I think some of that is, like you said, is coaching, and then a lot of it is just Ingram and Bo being on the same page.
Yeah, and I called it when you mentioned the 50 catches, I called it an ineffective 50 because one thing about stats we talked earlier is you could have one play for 70 yards and the next or for 2, and it looks like, oh man, he was averaging 10 yards. If Evan Ingram catches, let's say, 2 passes a game, but they're on 3rd and 6, that is, I think, a proper use of the tight end. You look at the stat sheet and go, that's 2 catches for 15, but they're 2 catches that extended a drive that potentially led to, a scoring situation. So with Ingram, I'm not going to look at the receptions and the yards so much. It's when is he used and how does he perform in those situations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously you want those guys to be able to convert in those situations, those guys that keep drives alive. I'll go back to Washington and Jaden Daniels, his rookie year, how many 4th down conversions that team got, whether it was Jaden Daniels running the ball, or whether it was him throwing the ball, and he was exceptional throwing the ball, but Zach Ertz was kind of his go-to guy in those situations. And I don't know how many of those 4th down conversions Zach Ertz had, but every time I looked up, it seemed like Zach Ertz was catching the ball on, like they were running a drive concept, and like he's catching the ball over the middle of the football field, running a basic route, what they call basically a 12-yard in-cutting route, and he's catching it. It's 3rd down and 10. He's catching it for 11 yards. It's like it just consistently happened that way, and he was like a big part of Washington's success. And even though he didn't run like he used to run, and he couldn't, he's not in and out of breaks as well as he used to be in and out of breaks, he still just managed to be open and be a friendly target to Jaden Daniels. And they were like 23 of 26 or something on 4th down conversion. It was ridiculous that year. But you'd love to see somebody step up and be that go-to security, I can convert 3rd down situation kind of player. I don't care where it comes from, but if it comes from the tight end, that would be great.
That'd be great. Pat Bryant, I think, is a guy that could also kind of has that capability. For me, the whole Chiefs run really boils down to and is predicated on Mahomes to Kelsey on 3rd down.
Yeah.
So much of their success was when 3rd down came, you knew it was going to that guy. You weren't going to stop it. And so if the Broncos can get there, I think that would be, that's what they need to do. They need that guy, that reliability. So a Broncos player had a bold prediction, Zach Allen, that the Broncos will break the Bears sack record.
What is the Bear? What is the?
How many is it? They got close last year. I don't know what it is, but they're gonna have one more game to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, for one, with Zach Allen coming out there saying it, I don't know if it's bulletin board material because he's not talking bad about anybody. Like the '80s Bears aren't gonna come after him for this. Do you like a guy out there kind of setting that type of expectation and that type of goal? Is it putting the spotlight on them, or is it good to hear that they want to do even better than they did last year?
No, it's great to hear. And the Bears had 72 sacks in that 85 season.
72?
72 sacks. But look at the way they did it. They did it because they were just a dominant front, right? They had Dan Hampton, they had McMichael, they had Richard Dent, they had Otis Wilson coming off the edge, they had Wilbur Marshall coming off the edge. I mean, they were, Mike Singletary man in the middle, but they did it with their front seven. It wasn't like they were blitzing people; they were just lining up. And then they invented that 46 defense, which is just a bear front, right? It's all 3 guys covered, but what they were doing was getting 5 guys on the line of scrimmage and getting 5 1-on-1s, and because they were so talented, they were so good. That's how they did it. This is different, and what Zach Allen is telling you is really, man, we've got such a great coordinator in Vance Joseph that we're going to get, like, 2 things. I think our offense is going to be so much more efficient that we're going to get more opportunities to rush the passer on a consistent basis. And then our coordinator is so good at dialing up pressures. And I told you this earlier in the show, they're playing the Jets in London, and they got 2 sacks off of the boot keep game. And it was just brilliant design, slot guy coming off the slot. And as soon as the quarterback turned his head back around off the boot, I mean, it was bam, 2 sacks, 2 plays, both boots, pretty much shut down the boot game. And so I'm breaking down the game. I text Vance, I think on the Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was. And I said, what happened? How did you have this dialed in like this? And he's like, hey, man, out of 12 personnel, they were running like a duo, and they had a boot off the duo, run game, and if it was always into the field, and it was always on 1st and 10, and they're going to run this boot. So what they're trying to do is throw the ball on 1st down to take you off, but they're trying to throw the ball half the field read with the quarterback, Justin Fields at the time, something where he's opening up to the field, right, where he's got some room to run it if he needs to, and you should have this pretty easy linear progression, 1, 2, 3 right in front of you, right, and you just pick the open guy and throw it. Well, it was an always tell for Vance. He dialed up 2 blitz pressures in those situations and got 2 sacks off of it, and then he just that just eviscerated and ended the boot keep game for the Jets at that time. So just brilliant. Like what Zach is saying is, man, we've got really good players. I think our offense is going to be a lot better. And, oh, by the way, our defense coordinator is freaking phenomenal at dialing up pressures where we get guys to the quarterback that are not impeded by an offensive player. Like, we just get these matchups.
Yeah, and I like, since Zach Allen said it, nobody cares. If TJ Watt said it, everybody would be like, oh, the Watts, you got to love them.
Yeah, right.
If Zach Allen's last name was Watt, his jersey would be retired in half the teams around. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, which is why things like this kind of fly under the radar, but I like it like that. It feels like when the teams play the Broncos, they didn't realize who Zach Allen was till it's too late.
Yeah.
And the game started.
Well, I think it's crazy because Zach Allen, I think, came out in that NFL rating thing that they do now is the 73rd best player.
Yeah.
I thought that was a slight. I think he's much better than that.
He's top 50.
Yeah.
He was in the ESPN ranked the defensive tackles. They had him 8th behind like Chris Jones, who once upon a time was that guy. But right now he's not better than Zach Allen. And so he flies under the radar on everybody.
Yeah, Zach, and he's a phenomenal player, great effort player. And sometimes great effort players, they're like crafty lefties, like they don't get – you're still getting dudes out, right? You don't throw hard, but you're still getting dudes out. Like sometimes those guys that do everything well don't necessarily get the big splash play, but they just are always – like that dude leads the league in quarterback hits every year, it seems like.
And that's where you demoralize the quarterback most is that this guy's hitting me every play, you guys.
Especially when you're collapsing the pocket from the middle of the football field, right? You're like every time you throw in a fake or every time you look up and all of a sudden you got to avoid Zach Allen or Zach Allen is right in your lap. Like that, it's just hard on quarterbacks. So there's a lot of those intangible things that you look at with Zach Allen that just don't make the stat line. So
he was 90th last year in the top 100, so they jumped him to 72. Wrong on both accounts. He should have been 72 last year.
Right.
And maybe jumped to 50 this year. But Zach Allen, continue to watch him. Really, nobody will admit it. There's people that bash the Broncos because they let Draymond Jones go and brought in Zach Allen.
Oh, yeah.
There's people this is so stupid.
This is
what
ridiculous.
Are you doing?
Right. Just
because he's VJ's guy. Nobody's doing it. And I like Draymond, but Zach Allen's a different level of player.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, I'm gonna reel off some names. Broncos quarterbacks. They have tried to replace the Hall of Famers. So guys that came in and were established to be the starter after Elway, after Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about who Bo is most like, and then maybe why he's different than these guys. So out of Brian Griese, your old teammate, Jake Plummer, Jay Cutler, Tim Tebow, Brock Osweiler, and I'll throw in Drew Lock. Of those players, who is Bo Nix most similar to?
Wow. There are two guys. The first two guys you mentioned are the two guys that it's almost a combination. I think he's got, like Brian Griese is one of the smartest dudes you'll ever be around, right? Mm-hmm. So he's got the cerebral nature of Brian Griese. He's going to know everything. He's just going to know everything.
Was Brian like that from the jump?
Yeah, Brian is.
From when he came in as a rookie?
Brian is one of those guys that took the Wonderlic test and goes, perfect score is 40. I got a 38. I got a 39. I missed one on purpose so I didn't look like a freak. Like that's Brian. He's really smart. Like I said, really cerebral, and like you always knew he was going to be, like he was going to go where the play told him to go. He's going to be great, and he's a super smart dude. And I think Bo has that level of kind of processing, understanding the game, but he's got that playmaking ability of Jake Plummer. And so he's a kind of a perfect combination of super cerebral, understands the game, great football acumen, like processes it quickly like Brian, but has got the playmaking ability. Like Brian didn't have the playmaking ability that Jake Plummer had. And the other thing he's got with Jake Plummer is that he's got a little bit of that, just that swag, like, hey, man, we're in a situation, we're down right now, here we go. Let's go, boys. He's got some of that to him. Like Jay Cutler is one of the most phenomenal, just athletic QBs we've ever seen. That just, it was
to his detriment, almost, because he felt like that. And leaving Mike Shanahan, I think, really crushed his career. Not having Mike continue to develop Jay Cutler, because he was still like developing, and then suddenly Mike's gone and he's off to Chicago, where they're like, you got to be the man, and he didn't have that drive. Well, I don't know if he didn't have the drive,
right,
but whatever you need to be great, it was missing.
Yeah, Jay is just like, I don't know, but just Jay is like Jay. Like when I think of Jay, I think of the website used to have Smoking Jay Cutler, where he's always got a heater hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah,
like that just feels like Jay to me. Like I've sat down with him in production meetings and talked to him in production meetings and watched him practice, do all that stuff, and he is that dude. Like he's just like, oh, whatever. Here we
Who
go.
cares?
But boy, I tell you what, you want to talk about talent? That dude had some freaking talent.
Yeah.
Had some talent, man. Just too bad that it didn't work out.
Yeah, because they had a really good offense that last year that he was in Denver with Royal and Marshall and Scheffler.
Yeah.
They were sitting on something special. It's too bad it didn't go, but I'm with you. Tim Tebow, Bo Nix, late game heroics is probably the only parallel we've got there between the two.
Yeah, just desire. There's a ferocity, if you will, if that's even a word. He's just a competitor, right? Tim Tebow is not. I mean, Tim Tebow was just from a throwing standpoint and everything else, he was a horrible quarterback, but he's an unbelievable competitor and a great dude. Just a great guy. And so I think there's a lot of similarities there when it comes to, like you said, end of game heroics, competitiveness that just wills teams to be good.
Yeah, and then last one, we're talking about quarterbacks that were to replace Hall of Famers here in Denver and why Bo Nix is similar or different. Last one here, Brock Osweiler. I don't see really much similar with Bo Nix and Brock Osweiler stylistically. Locker room, I think the locker room like both guys.
Yeah.
Not a problem, but really it's hard to find any similarities between them. But you pointed to Brian Griese, a combination of Brian Griese and Jake Plummer is who you think Bo Nix is most similar to.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, they're the two that lasted the longest, is the Broncos starter.
Right.
Brian got 4 years. Jake also started 4 years. Now they both got benched in that fourth year, which is interesting. So something ran out.
I will say one thing about Jake Plummer, and I never played with Jake, but I've known Jake for a long time. And we had some of the same coaches that coached me in college, coached Jake Plummer in college at Arizona State. And so we have this thread, this connection through one of our former coaches, and I will say that Jake Plummer was one of those dudes that, like, you gotta, one of the things about your quarterback, the quarterback got to be a dude. Whatever the definition of a dude is, you gotta inspire people. You got to be able to rip somebody's ass and still get great production out of them. You gotta. There's some intangible aspects to being a quarterback that don't, that you can't find on a stat line. And one thing about Jake Plummer, you talk to anybody who played with Jake Plummer is one of the most popular. Like, he's a dude, and guys loved playing with Jake, and that's why when Mike made the decision to move to Jay Cutler, dude, it was like deflating to the football team.
Well, they were 7-4 too.
Right.
Like they were good.
They were good, and guys loved Jake Plummer. They didn't have that same affinity for Jay Cutler. And I don't know, like I just know how much I'm saying that because I know how much they love Jake.
Yeah,
and
it would have been hard to follow for almost anybody. And then when
Sure.
somebody is Jay Cutler.
Right.
And then Kyle Orton later on, who's not
Right.
wasn't as popular either. But I think you're right because Greasy and Jake Plummer, that's where Bo Nix kind of falls between. He's less mistake prone than Jake. Jake was way more gunslinger, would turn the ball over.
Yeah.
But he has that Greasy. Brian Greasy, his second year as a starter. Were you on that team?
Yeah.
When you guys opened Monday night at
Yeah.
St. Louis? It was a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
It's underrated. Greasy was like 19-4 ratio before he got hurt. His performance that year is one of the most underrated, I think, in all of Broncos history.
Right.
He was really good. He got hurt beating the Raiders. But that is kind of Greasy's trajectory is what we see with Bo now. Unfortunately for Brian, it fell apart on him. But Bo's progression is kind of what we saw with Brian Greasy, where Greasy was headed before that shoulder injury.
Yeah, Greasy was, like I said, incredibly smart. But again, like just different. Like we had that same kind of thing go on between Bubby Brister and Greasy because everybody loves anybody who ever played with Bubby loves Bubby.
Camaraderie or shit?
Camaraderie shit, man. Bubby's the greatest dude on the planet. I mean, I love Bubby.
I don't think you ought to pigeon your hole.
Yeah, you can't pigeon your hole. So so everybody loves Bubby, but I understood why Mike decided to go to Brian. And Brian is not as dynamic a personality as Bubby, but like Bubby's going to make some stuff up, right? Let's just going to say like I don't know what this play is, but let's just go. That's what we're going to do. And so, which those things sometimes drive a coach crazy, and Brian wasn't going to do any of that stuff. So I love both those guys. I love those teammates, and I understood why they did it. And I don't know. It's just an interesting dynamic. But Greasy was great in that. Was that the 19? I think it was in 19 or 2000 season
because it was the Ravens. It was the year of the Ravens.
Yeah,
because they were going to bring in Steve Young.
Yeah, and then Gus took over. Gus Frerotte took over. Yeah. But, yeah, Brian was playing lights out in that 2000 season before he hurt his shoulder against the Raiders.
Yeah, and he came back in and led the game-winning drive. But that season was that opening game Monday night where you all almost
lost. Yeah, we lost
the greatest
it.
show on turf. You came back. Terrell Buckley, who had the pick six on Kurt Warner that gave you guys the lead. You all came back.
Your memory's way better than mine.
It was an incredible game.
It was like a 42-38
shootout.
We ended up losing, but it was a great game, and it was one of those things. Brian had that was a great year up until the shoulder injury, and that's one of those dudes that isn't like as gifted as Bo Nix from an athletic standpoint, and so when you start losing some of that athleticism, you can make up for it with your processing ability and you're being intelligent and stuff, but there's just certain things you can't do anymore, right?
Right.
And teams know that. Like they know that we're going to play to that. We're going to take all these things away and make you do the thing that you can't do. That's what the Patriots used to call making the guy play left-handed.
That's Belichick's genius, as he actually didn't overthink it most of the time. Mark, we've been talking this show, Legends, Colorado Sports. We'll keep it to Colorado Sports. We got a couple names you played with, but send them in, 303-713-1043, ramoslaw.com text line, or the Champ Honda YouTube chat. Just send it in. We'll go over them. I got a good one for Mark that I'm going to bring up, and we'll do that next.
ESPN polled NFL execs, coaches, and scouts to rank the best players at every position, and the Broncos skill guys got dismissed. Bo Nix led 7 game-winning drives, took Denver to the AFC Championship game, and didn't crack the top 17 quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Courtland Sutton just made the NFL top 100 for the first time. The team added Jalen Waddle, and nobody outside of Colorado seemed to notice. Are the league's decision makers sleeping on Denver's offense, or is there work to be done on Davis Webb's side of the ball? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, I know what joint pain feels like. I do. Full day of yard work, 18 holes of golf. Yeah, I'll feel it. But after a couple of days, I'm back to normal. I can't imagine what it's like to feel that kind of pain constantly. If this is you, please consider what QC Kinetics could do for you. They use all-natural regenerative treatments, taking your greatest weapon, your own body's healing properties, applied directly to that aching joint, renewing and restoring that joint to the point that you enjoy lasting relief. QC Kinetics helps people find lasting relief for that chronic pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. Even better, it's done all naturally. No drugs, no steroids, or surgery. One of the benefits of working with QC Kinetics these last several years is hearing from so many satisfied patients about the people that they dealt with, the care they received, and the results that allowed them to get back to living and enjoying their lives. So schedule your free consultation. Call 303-900-8986, 303-900-8986. With offices in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs, it's QC Kinetics.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here, now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation. Because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols, and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
The rent's coming up. Also, gotta get groceries. And I should probably set up an emergency fund. Plus, I want to start my own business. Sorta. Maybe. But first, a trip I've been dying to take.
Wings is here to make sure it all adds up. Wings Credit Union. Let's figure it out together. Insured by NCUA.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is triple, TRIPLE. Text triple to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's triple to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from DenverSports 1043 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Self-appointed nicknames.
Obviously, I am the hockey guy at this station.
Grammar lessons.
High five, Fama Jamma.
And Oscar-worthy impressions.
My version was, get off my plane. Okay. Yours was, get off my plane.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in with Mark Schlereth today, talking good Bubby Brister during the break. But Mark, the ESPN put out the execs, coaches, scouts rank NFL top safeties for 2026. So this just came out. Jeremy Fowler has it. Do you want me to read them to you? Just go right in order.
Well, I would say Kyle Hamilton has got to be probably number one. Does everything well for the Baltimore Ravens and plays linebacker. Plays like when he was playing linebacker in a dime situation. Now you don't get as many opportunities, obviously, but the team was better at defending the run when he's in either nickel or dime at the linebacker position than they were in base with their linebackers on the field. So he is that guy. He'll run and come off the edge and in a blitzing situation. Like he'll play nickel, he'll play linebacker, he'll play safety. He is the prototypical guy that everybody is trying to find right now. So it's him. Then it's Derwin James.
You're 2 for 2
with the Chargers.
You're 2 for 2.
It'd be like the kid in Seattle, Eman Uweri or whatever. He'll be in that that group somewhere.
Yep, he's 6.
So those are the guys that everybody is looking for. Those guys that play safety that are just like different, that are essentially positionless. Those are just the top 3 guys that popped out of my head. I'd have to start looking at names to tell you who I think is the next few guys.
But you got 1 and 2. Yeah, it's Kyle Hamilton 1, Derwin James 2, Xavier McKinney, Green Bay 3.
Yeah, big ball hawking, lots of interceptions, even when he was with the Giants.
Brian Branch, Detroit Lions.
Love Brian Branch, and he's one of those. He's just one of those difference makers. So yeah.
And then Jesse Bates, the 3rd, Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Emanuwari, I'm saying that wrong, Seattle. He's a
Yeah.
great player. Antoine Winfield, Tampa Bay. He's always on the list. Buda Baker, that's another kind of
Buda's a great player.
Kirby Joseph, Detroit Lions. So the Lions get 2 guys in the top 10, and Kalen Bullock, Houston Texans.
Okay, yeah, I mean that lines up. I think those guys where's Petrie? He come in as a nickel.
He came in as an honorable mention. He's a nickel. They say he's a nickel, but he plays safety. So he's kind of how they use Jaquan.
I'd put him. I'd put him up there a little bit higher, but I get it if you're kind of looking at him as more of a nickel than a safety. But that dude's a freak show. He's one of the reasons that defense is so damn good. But yeah, I get all that. I would think. Like I'd like to put Hufanga up there.
He got Brandon Jones and Hufanga aren't even really honorable mentions. They're just guys that got votes. Mm-hmm. And Hufanga, to me, it's weird that he just got votes because this was an already great defense, and he came in and made them like his impact was immediate.
You're right.
And the difference that Hufanga made, where he plays on the field, the hits he makes, game changing, momentum swinging type plays. Is Hufanga, is there just a lot of great safeties and this is just a product of that? Or like many things like we talked about with Zach Allen, is this just a Denver Broncos player being overlooked?
Yeah, it's more of a Broncos player in my mind being overlooked. Hufanga is unbelievable. And part of that is the last 2 years why he was with San Francisco, not last year withstanding, but the 2 years previous, he was hurt a lot. And so, he went from this unbelievably dynamic kind of all-pro type of dude to all of a sudden being a guy that was kind of hurt. And so a lot of times what you see with Hufanga is just his playmaking ability at the line of scrimmage. So one of the things everybody tries to do is, play that shell kind of defense. And so those safeties now, instead of cover 2 safeties, if they're quarter safeties, they're a little closer to the line of scrimmage than they would be in cover 2, and they've got run responsibility in the alleys, so they become defenders. And so, when everybody says, oh, it's too high safety look, well, in that particular coverage, when you get a run key, they think everything's a 9-man box, right? Because they think you should be able – but there's not a lot of guys that can read something like that and go from their heels at 10 yards to being on the line of scrimmage when the running back gets there. Hufanga is that guy. He just blows stuff up. And it is amazing. His run reaction skills, his diagnosis, and we talked about processing, his ability to process, tight end just blocked down, whoom, down the C gap, here I come, and I'm going to blow somebody up at the line of scrimmage. He does that consistently. He just makes plays. And he's a disruptive factor. So I love that a lot. I think a lot of that, though, is who is, as opposed to strong safeties doing that, like Hufanga plays more of that, although it's kind of almost positionless to a degree. It's really the free safeties who are the guys that can play that style, but also be an uncapped defender. Like you're one-on-one with a slot guy, and people get that matchup all the time. Can you cover that guy? So that's really the difference. Can you be a run-stuffing threat? Can you do that from that position? But can you also be uncapped, meaning there's nobody behind you, and you're one-on-one with the slot guy? In those, so if we get in 2x2 formations and we're playing some type of quarters, like you're an uncapped coverage guy. Show me the guy who plays that position for teams that play, the Vic Fangio quarters, which everybody plays now and is trying to sit in. Show me the guy who plays that position. I'll show you who the defense coordinator thinks is the best player on the team. And that's the dude.
Is Hufanga that guy?
Hufanga's great. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like. They're so good at getting to the quarterback and stuff. Sometimes you don't necessarily see what kind of coverage skills the guy has. I think Jones is that type of guy. I think Jones is one of those undervalued, underrated guys. But again, how much do they move that dude around? How many different positions does he play? What blows you away about watching, Kyle Hamilton and Derwin James is all the different places those guys play and all the different things they ask those guys to do. That's why they pop. That's why they compile statistics. That's why they're like, dude, this guy is just all over the place. Well, they're playing him in a bunch of different positions. So everybody is looking for that guy. So now all of a sudden those guys become the prototypical guys that everybody rates everybody against. And so that's become the league right now.
Yeah, and we're talking about Jeremy Fowler's list. The execs, coaches voting the top 10 safeties. Hufanga and Brandon Jones not on the list. Kyle Hamilton. And kind of to your point, Hufanga, his ability to be all over the field like Kyle Hamilton. Well, Baltimore's defense is deficient in a few areas. So Kyle Hamilton has to make up for some other guys. Hufanga doesn't have to make up for anybody on this Broncos defense. Maybe that middle linebacker. But I'm with you. The safeties that play all over, it can make an impact. Troy Polamalu, when he was healthy, the Steelers went to the Super Bowl. When he was hurt, they missed the playoffs. It's so that type of safety, I don't think it gets enough credit for how much it can really impact a team's success.
Oh, Polamalu was, because oftentimes you don't have a hat for him, especially in the run game, Yeah. And but Polamalu is one of those guys too that freelanced a lot. He's very much like Junior Seau from a freelancing standpoint. So when you have a dude like that, like when Junior was with the Chargers, you always had to have a middle linebacker that could make up for him. Or when Junior went to the New England Patriots, then Teddy Bruschi had to go, okay, if Junior starts to freelance, Teddy, it's your job to replace him. Like that was, you got to have the dude that's smart enough to know, here goes Junior, let me go. That was Polamalu. Like when Polamalu, like you look at the DT touchdown. And I've talked to Ryan Clark about this bunch.
The Tebow play.
Tebow to DT touchdown in that playoff game. The Monday kid was supposed to be blitzing the safety that replaced Ryan Clark because Ryan Clark couldn't play because of sickle cell here. So he was the blitzer. Polamalu just decided to blitz on that. So if that was Ryan Clark on the other side, Ryan Clark would go, here goes Polamalu. Let me jump off and take his responsibility because he's going now. Like he heard the call and he heard blitz. And he's like, all right, here I go, right? And so now you got it. But both of them came, which left DT with no middle of the field defender. And they run that little drift route, and the rest is history. It goes 88 yards. Well, there was nobody in the middle of the field. There was supposed to be a safety in the middle of the field, but both guys blitzed because Polamalu freelanced.
That's interesting. Yeah, so when you've got the guy that
could cover.
It has to cover for the.
So he's running down on his blitz
his
call.
Position now.
Yeah, he's running down and he peeks over and goes, "Oh, here goes Polamalu. I better I got to bail. I got to bail on this, right?
I got to do his job now." So fascinating. Either way, whether Hufanga's on the list or not, I think we're all pretty happy to have somebody like him in Denver. John Davis filling in for Mike Evans today. We're going to get to your text. We got a lot coming through. Who are the greatest players that nobody knows in Colorado sports history? We'll get to all of that, and we'll do that next.
3 and 9. That was Coach Prime's reality last season, and it forced a total reset. Deion Sanders told the country no more chasing 5-star mercenaries through the portal. This time, 43 transfers, 0 5 stars, all guys with something to prove. His words, hungry players who won't bolt at the first sign of adversity. And on the high school side, 20 commits for 2027. CU's best class of the Sanders era so far. So is this the blueprint that finally works in Boulder, or is it too little too late? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here. Recently talked to my buddy Troy Hansford about the housing market. Hey man, it's gone from crazy hot a couple of years ago, a couple of summers ago, to price declining. People haven't seen that in quite some time here in Denver, Colorado. So, you thinking about selling your house right now? You can sell it, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, Troy's still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at the price you guys agree upon, plus the timeline that you guys agree upon, he's going to cut you a check for $5,000. Come on, nobody else is going to make that offer. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy. If you have a house, Troy probably has that perfect buy for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to give him a call at 720-900-4433. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money, guys. And if for any reason you need to sell it right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and close in as little as 7 days. 720-900-4433. That's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Welcome to Whatever Bank. How may I barely help you today?
Hi, is there an option to open a checking account with no monthly fees?
0 monthly fees? Oof, I'm afraid not. Just think of the fee as a subscription to your own money.
You don't have to bank like that. Make the switch to KeyBank to open a Key Smart checking account with no monthly maintenance fees.
Ooh, I like that.
Learn more at key.com/keysmartchecking. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting for seriously injured car accident victims in Colorado. Serious accidents demand serious representation. We dig into every detail of your case, and we don't back down until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured in a car accident, call the Wilhite Law Firm today at 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com. That's 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com.
The Drive is heading to Aurora Hills Golf Course on July 17th from 2 to 6 p.m. Zach By and Philip Lindsay live from Aurora's original municipal course, a centrally located gem with great course conditions and reasonable fees. Live broadcast at Aurora Hills Golf Course July 17th.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're a guy over 50 dealing with an enlarged prostate, you need to know about PAE, prostate artery embolization. It's minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're back home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatments with near zero impact on sexual function. Top-tier radiologists, boutique setting, personalized care in Lakewood. Go to coloradoae.com.
Arby's is on your side in the fight against Big Rush Hour. Get $1 fries and sliders between 2 and 6 p.m. with the purchase of any regularly priced food item only at participating Arby's.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Shop Honda keeps car buying simple. One price, one person, 1 hour means no games, no back and forth, and no dealer handling fees ever. Upfront pricing and one dedicated advisor who handles everything from start to finish. It's straightforward, stress-free, and honestly the way car buying should have always been. At Shop Honda, the experience is just as good as the vehicle you're driving home. Discover the Shop Honda difference for yourself. Visit Shop Honda today, proud partner of the Dover and Cecil Show.
Stream Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Listener appreciation.
Our RamosLaw.com texters always answer the bell.
Mentorship.
You can't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. And words of wisdom.
Don't let my confidence offend your insecurity.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
We're going to get to our Legends of Colorado sports that nobody talks about. But first, it's our keyword contest. Summer is here, which means road trips. But with high gas prices, you're questioning whether or not to take that road trip. Denver Sports is here to help. Enter for your chance to win a weekly $250 gas card and a possible grand prize of $1,000. All you have to do is listen for the keyword every hour and text it to 303-713-1043 before that hour ends. The more keywords you enter, the more chances you have to win. For complete rules, visit denversports.com/keyword. Mark, been having fun today. As always, you even commented earlier, I have a better memory than you. I like to, when I get to sit with the athletes, I like to remind them of things that they experienced that I actually didn't experience on the field. I
walk out of my garage. I can't remember why I walked out there. I'm like, oh, this is my garage. I'm going to go back in the kitchen. But you are like, you got, oh, don't you remember that play on? No, I don't remember that play on third down. But yeah, I appreciate your recall. It's incredible.
It's what I like to do. So going down memory lane is always fun for me. We're talking about players that we know that might have been locker room legends for athletes or people that fans feel may not get recognized as well. It started with Jumpy Gathers, a guy that is a fan I liked, and as a guy you played with that at any point could pick his shot and ruin somebody's day on the field.
Oh yeah, I mean he would just destroy people. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you a story because I played with him in Washington. I played with him here too. And so Jumpy had come from New Orleans, and he just had his second major ACL reconstruction. So we signed him in the offseason and just rehabbed him. And so he wasn't doing anything, and he was going to come off IR somewhere in October, and like late October. And so we were flipping him grief. Like, we were just like the offensive line all sat on one side.
Well, you're the Hogs.
Yeah, we're the Hogs, and he sat on the other side with some of the defensive line guys, and we're just flipping him all kinds of grief. And he is getting, like, we got him riled up. He's pissed, and he goes off on us, and he's like yelling, "I'm going to come out to practice next week, and we're doing one-on-ones." He goes, "Jim Lachey, I'm going to line up over you. I'm going to forklift you and dump you on top of the quarterback. Then I'm going to do it to you, Raleigh McKenzie. Then I'm going to do it to you, Jeff Bostic. Then I'm going to do it to you, Stink. Then I'm going to do it to you, Joe Jacoby." And we're all like rolling our eyes like, okay, all right, that's what you're going to do, Ed. I swear to you, as sure as I'm sitting here, he comes out on Wednesday. We line up for one-on-ones. He lines up against Jimmy Lachey and picks him up off the ground. His feet are dangling, trying to get his back. Dumps him on top of, the bag that's the quarterback. Then he does it to Raleigh, Then he does it to Jeff. Then he does it to me. Then he does
It's badass.
like 5 in a row. And we're all like, oh, shoot. Like, this dude is not human. He was so pissed off, and he just whipped every one of our asses. I'd never seen anything like it. I've never
Whatever
to
he
do
is,
five
he
to do
destroys.
5 guys in a row is exhausting in one-on-ones. And you just picked up 5 guys that are all close to 300 pounds and just tossed us around like rag dolls. Like, he had his arm. It's probably where my lower back problem started. His arm wrapped around my lower back. He like sucks my lower back in, and my feet are dangling. Like, I'm trying to get traction, and trying to and he just got me off the ground. Like, and he's just like fireman carrying me when my back is all like, you're like, how in the
my back?
Right? How in the heck
you had
did that
35
happen?
surgeries.
Right. And so anyhow, then I played with him here as well, and I love jumpy gathers, and I've just seen him ruin people. I mean, I've witnessed our defense come off the field, and they're like, the left guard is crying right now. The Steelers' left guard is crying right on the field. He's crying. I can't block him. They're like, oh, he's got him crying. Like, it's just stuff that, this is stuff that you wouldn't believe, right? You're like, oh, come on, that's like urban legend. It's not urban legend. You ask any guy from my generation who had to play against this freak show, and they will all tell you, like, just piddling down my leg when Jumpy Gathers came into the game.
Jumpy Gathers, that's a great one. Here's another one that's come through a couple times. An unsung hero, John Mobley, was a really good player for the Broncos, 15th overall. He's an example of, if you get a really good player in the draft, nobody talks about what happened after, because Mobley was taken ahead of, I think, Zach Thomas and Ray Lewis. But he was so effective, nobody was ever like, look what you missed out on. He came and he popped immediately in preseason. He knocked down the ball in Super Bowl 32 to kind of set it home, but he was consistently from the jump always making plays in Denver. John Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley was a great edge player. Edge outside will linebacker. Great combination, just a great combination of athleticism, quickness. Wasn't the biggest dude, but just Mobes just was solid, made plays, good blitzer, good in coverage. Like, he just did everything well from Kutztown.
Yeah.
Small little Division II school, right? And he probably doesn't get the credit he deserves, because you said 2 Hall of Famers got drafted after him, and Zach Thomas and Ray Lewis, who was, Ray Lewis was just Ray Lewis. He was a freak,
right.
But Mobes was a great player.
Shanahan let him try out for punt returner in preseason. Do you remember this?
No.
He got an interception in preseason. He was so athletic. And then they asked Mike, and Mike was like, yeah, he's not returning.
Yeah, right. We just put it out there so he could pretend that he was returning.
It's John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans. Argentina wins again, ESPYs, and more players that legends in Denver sports that people don't talk about enough. We continue to do all of that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Hey guys, let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain, worried about needing surgery, haven't taken all those habit-forming medications. Well, my guys at Spine One specialize in treatments that offer alternatives to major surgery and long-term medication. Here's the best news. You can do exactly what I did. You can start your journey today toward pain-free with a same-day appointment. That's right. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call 303-367-2225, 303-367-BACK. Spine One is a complete medical center for spine care. Exams, MRIs, physical therapy, treatment options, all in one facility. And here's one of the things I love. They're going to educate you, sit you down, show you the MRIs, the x-rays. Here's why you're in pain, and here's the options we have for you for both nagging and debilitating pain. Guys, they changed my life. Suffered with just terrible back pain to the point, and you know what I'm talking about, it just checks you out of life. You just get to the point where you don't want to do anything, man. We're going to the zoo today. I ain't going to the zoo today. I ain't going to walk around all day. Like that kind of thing. Couple short visits to my guys at Spine One. I was doing things like playing golf again, going to the gym again, most importantly, sleeping through the night again, guys, without back pain. Do yourself a favor. Call them. 303-367-2225, 303-367-BACK, or find them online at spine1.com.
This is the story of the one.
the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recyclon Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recyclon.org/Colorado.
It's home selling season, and what's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. Not with Orchard. First, Orchard gives you cash up front to buy and move into your new home first. Then, your local Orchard agent helps you sell your home on market for top dollar. One customer said, "I went under contract within 24 hours of my home listing." Amazing. Don't settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar with Orchard. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Skip this year's Front Porch Roofing Circus and bring in the local professionals.
Visit us at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
In Colorado, relationships matter. That's why contractors across the Front Range choose Western Pacific for doors and millwork. 35 years of quality products, next-day delivery, and fast will-call service. Visit GoWestPack.com. Western Pacific, local ownership, professional expertise.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Anything that distracts you while driving is dangerous. Driving while texting can be deadly. So put it down. It can wait. Shift into safe. Don't drive distracted. A message from the Colorado Department of Transportation.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Able Builders, it's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth. Delusional confidence.
I'm tougher than Mark.
Strong detective work.
Something was way off with him, like some kind of bad gummy bear or something. I don't know. It was just
gummy bear.
And personal hygiene.
Holy Moses. The guy's excited about showering.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans. Last night, Argentina does it again, scoring in the 80th and 92nd minute of extra time. I know you're a big extra time guy.
Oh, yeah, because you don't know exactly how long the extra time is going to last.
And
I love that.
They come back, though. I think about this. the best way to win a game is that huge comeback. I think that's the most exhilarating. Like, oh my God, I can't believe we just did it. The worst way is the Raheem Moore, like with Baltimore. The we had it and we blew it. So if you're England today, that we thought we were going to get it, and if it wasn't for this damn extra time, we might have won that game.
Yeah, that's it's a tough one. Obviously, they tied it up. Argentina tied it up in the 80th minute, so they tied it up in regulation.
Yeah, it was tied in regulation.
So, but again, when you have a guy as dynamic as Messi and attracts attention, this kind of goes to the Jalen Waddle thing that we were talking about. A guy that you have to think about, we got to cap this guy, right? We got to stay on top of this guy because he can beat us deep. But you cap him, and there's less defenders in there when he does cut into the middle of the football field and catch the ball. There's less defenders there. And then what he does for you in the run game, because you're like, hey, we're going to cap him, we're going to keep somebody over the top, right? Now all of a sudden you're weaker as far as run defenders. Now you just don't have the same numbers. It's all like quote unquote a math equation, right? So we want a number over there so that we feel comfortable about stopping the run, and that's what a guy like that gives you. And you watch Messi, who had 2 brilliant assists in that game, just his ability to control the ball, his ability to draw extra defenders, and when he draws extra defenders, making the right pass, the right decision to a wide open dude who can get the ball on net. And he did it in the first goal. Kicked it back into the middle of the field and put it right on somebody's foot, and they score. I don't know who the guy was. He had some Argentinian name, whatever it was.
Good eye-foot coordination.
Yeah,
though.
Good eye-foot coordination. And then the second one, same thing, draws the attention and throws. He just throws this dime spot with this. Just unbelievable to the header that goes in. So, like dudes like that, again, you get assists and stuff, but you draw 3 or 4 guys to you, which opens up other guys. And so that was again for Messi, that was special. Now they've got a chance to go back-to-back. Has anybody won back-to-back World Cups before? I'm sure somebody has, right? Johnny's my World Cup guy. Johnny World Cup.
Johnny World Cup.
What's the information on that, Johnny World Cup? Oh, he's looking. He's looking it up.
He's looking it up. But no, it's like with Messi last night.
I like this.
The efforting music.
Yeah,
it's been a minute since we had the efforting music.
Okay, here comes Johnny. Here comes Johnny Soccer.
Does he have it?
Yeah. Johnny World Cup.
Oh, he's Johnny World Cup.
Italy did it in 34 and 38
so
a while
knows
ago,
that,
and then
Mark.
Brazil did it in 58 and 62.
Oh, that was with Pele, probably.
So long time. Yeah,
the
you
only
did.
guy
You did.
I know. The only guy I know.
Pele
Brazil.
in the 50s. They won it.
I knew Brazil, Pele.
They won it. Yeah.
So back two teams have won back to back.
Yeah, everybody knows Italy did it in the 30s, so I don't know why you missed that.
Well,
but
they got
that's
there.
obvious.
Everybody remembers they got Ferrari drove them over there from Italy, right? Isn't that an Italy car? Or no, it was Ferrari.
Ferrari's Italian, yes.
Okay,
Correct the mundo.
Italy car. So Mr. Ferrari himself drove them to that their second World Cup.
And then Pele came in the 50s and helped Brazil.
Yes, exactly. So we got that squared away. So yeah, that'd be the first time since 50s, and was it late 50s and early 60s, or just
late 50s, early 60s? Yeah,
shoot, that's
Pele's heyday.
It's a long time ago.
That's a really long time ago. And Mark, so World Cup, we're gonna get a pretty good final there. But the ESPYs were last night. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, because your Broncos team won the ESPY for best team after the Super Bowl, I believe. Yeah, John and TD were there.
I didn't get invited.
I was going to say, do you not get no award or anything like that?
No, I didn't get invited to that. I didn't even know we won that.
Yeah,
Good
you
for
won
us.
that. It was a quick, clean sweep. Larry Walker won baseball player. This is like 97, 98.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell made fun of John Oweh's teeth
Mm-hmm.
from the stage. And Will Ferrell, I saw in an interview, said he found out John Oweh was really not happy about it.
Really?
Yeah, like he was making fun of everybody.
Yeah,
that
that's
night,
what you're supposed to do is make fun of everybody.
But
yeah.
Elway wasn't happy with it. So, Stink, a lot of people are texting in. We said players, Colorado legends that people might not know of. I'm going to draw at the Avalanche, Sandis Ozolinsh, defenseman, when they won their first 2 cups. He came in, Owen Nolan trade. Those Avalanche teams, like your Broncos teams, you go through the roster and you're like, God, this 16th best player would have been the 5th best player on a lot of these other teams around the league. So
they were so good at that time, man. I just remember, Yeah, I grew up in Alaska, and so there was a lot of hockey. Like that was probably the most popular sport in our high school. Like I played football and I wrestled, but our hockey team was really good and very popular. Like it was just a very popular sport. We had some guys that played varsity as a freshman or whatever, and then went to Canada to one of the boarding schools to be hockey guys,
juniors,
juniors, whatever it is. So we had guys like that, but yeah, it was a really popular sport. And then I remember coaching my son's baseball team. They're like 12, 13, whatever, when the Avalanche made their first run in '96. And it was so cool because we have like game in the morning or game, and then we'd run home and have a barbecue, and the whole team would be around the television watching Sakic and Forsberg and all those guys, win their first cup here. And so it was really, really cool. And then the Avalanche, invited us down. We invited us to.
That's right.
So it was really cool to be a part of that, and then for us to win that championship in '97, and it just felt like there was connection, kindred spirits, and I still keep in contact with Sakic and still keep in contact with Footer and some of the guys from that. Yeah, for some of the guys from that team that were just great dudes, just great guys, and so they just had a phenomenal run. And then they win another one in 2000, and so it was cool to be a part of the city at that time.
Yeah, well, we had no professional championships, and then between '96 and '01, we suddenly had 4.
Yeah,
so that was really cool coming up. DenverSports felt like it really kind of arrived at that time. And speaking of which, a name we've gotten in, legends, Colorado sports, nobody talks about. Teammate of yours, Darian Gordon, came in, corner, return specialist, legitimately one of the best punt returners in the history of NFL.
Yeah, Darren Gordon was a great returner, but he always, that dude always, every time you looked up, you're sitting on the bench, and, they throw the ball, and he'd have a pick. He'd be getting a pick six. He'd be, he just had a nose. That dude had a nose for the ball. Great returner for us, but was really one of those kind of linchpin players that nobody talks about in a spot. Ray Crockett was kind of our go-to.
Love Ray Crockett.
Right, go-to corner, but that other side was going to get the lion's share of the attention, and that other side was Darian Gordon, and Darian Gordon just had all kinds of opportunities with when the ball was in the air, man. He just made plays on it. So, yeah, he's another one of those dudes that people probably don't remember exceptionally well. Like everybody remembers, the impact that Atwater had. He's a Hall of Famer, and Atwater was huge and stuff, but what about Chicken? Like that
Tyrone.
Dude, yeah.
12th round pick.
Chicken was great. He was a great player for us. And obviously you get overshadowed because the other dude is so good. But we had some of those great starters that were kind of had their role and were just awesome players.
That's what was cool about Super Bowl 32 is you had the new, you had TD, and he was new and he was the shiny object. But Steve Atwater and Tyrone Braxton made such key plays early on in that game with the turnovers that led to everything. So there was all these new exciting players, but the legends of the Broncos, kind of the ones that had been through it previously, were like, we're not letting this one get out of here. Tyrone was great. He went down to Miami for 1 year in between his Broncos stints. And he came back, and when he came back in '96, he led the league in interceptions. Yeah, I believe. And him and Big Al came in together that '96 year. Was '96 as good as '97 and '98, team wise?
Yeah, I mean we were really good. I think that's just one of those things where you're really good, but you don't know how good you actually are. It was one of those things where there's still somewhat of a feeling out process, and there were some changes that need to be made. That's one of the things about being a head coach and being kind of in charge. Shanahan made tough decisions, and he always had the reason he made them, and he'd let you know why he made them. And it was always one thing I always respected about Mike a ton. It was always real. It wasn't bull. It wasn't baloney. It was real. Hey man, I'm making this tough decision. Here's why I'm making it, and we're gonna be better off for it. And so there was always that kind of hard line, man, this is a business and we got to be better. But we're making this decision because of this, this, and this. And he just put his foot down and said, that's what we're doing. And we'd move forward. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that kind of frankness and that honesty about this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, Mike, and it led to a lot of success. But Mark, we got our training camp shirts today from noon to 1 p.m. It's the first giveaway of our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 T-shirts. We'll be at Santiago's Mexican Restaurant, located at 2501 Ford Street in Golden. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt. Mark, you just mentioned something about Mike Shanahan and decisions that were made, and I wonder if some of these decisions should have been made by the Broncos this offseason. What am I talking about? We'll get into that next.
The Nuggets got bounced in the first round, and instead of fixing the roster, they've spent this offseason chasing LeBron James, a 41-year-old who, according to Shams Charania, doesn't even have Denver on his short list. Meanwhile, Payton Watson is still on side. Wing defenders are vanishing off the market, and Jokic just pushed his extension to next year. So is the LeBron dream holding this team hostage? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Six-pack abs. That's going to take a lot of work. Finding that perfect tan. Hey, you got burned, but that's how you get your base tan. You put a lot of work into feeling and looking your best for the summer, but fixing your hair loss could end up making the biggest difference. Great opportunity to get introduced to advanced hair restoration and take advantage of their once-yearly summer savings event. I got introduced 20 years ago, and boy, am I glad I did. They stopped my rapidly receding hairline, and here we are 2 decades later with a head of hair that I feel good about. Advanced hair restoration uses an incredibly simple yet effective one-day hair loss solution that takes your own hair and begins to regrow it the very next day, and it's even guaranteed to grow. No magic, no gimmicks, just real science, the latest technology, and legendary Dr. Tanya Pauls, who did my hair 20 years ago. The summer sales event is on for a limited time, so schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and at advancehair.com. That's advancehair.com.
America is celebrating, and so is Groove Toyota. The Red, White, and Drive sales event is on. Over 160 new Tacomas, only $349 a month lease. Visit GrooveToyota.com. Find your Groove with $349 a month Tacomas at the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro. Groove Toyota. Start here, go anywhere.
Closed and leased for 36 months with $33.99 with signing. Zero security deposit on approved credit. Call 720-961-4465 for complete details. Based on continuous operation of a Toyota dealership at this location for 60 years. Offer expires 8/3/26.
Where will you find her perfect engagement ring?
There's only one fine jeweler in Denver with all the world's top bridal designers. I'm Dylan Williams.
And I'm Shayna Williams from Williams Jewelers. Only here in our bridal design gallery will you find Gabriel & Company, A. Jaffe, Hearts on Fire, and the legendary Tacori.
Thousands of diamond engagement rings from every style and every price range.
If it's on her Pinterest page, it's here.
Add to that our famous Williams Jewelers Diamond Bar with almost every size, shape, and price range diamond.
And our expert diamond professionals will help you put it all together perfectly.
At the guaranteed best price in Colorado. We even have flexible payment terms for qualified buyers, so you can do this today.
That's why more couples say, will you, with Williams.
Where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. Williams Jewelers, where Colorado shines.
Peanut butter and jelly, music and dancing, salt and pepper. At Excel Energy, we believe some things just work better together, like an electric heat pump, the 2-in-1 unit that can both cool and heat your home. And better yet, it does so using energy more efficiently than a traditional HVAC system. Better yet, you can also save money installing a heat pump with rebates at excelenergy.com/heat pumps. Cooling, heating, and savings. All in one comfort, all in one package.
Summer in Colorado means more water use. Call Benjamin Franklin for water heaters, drains, water quality, and more. Available 24/7 with a satisfaction guarantee. Look at BenjaminFranklinDenver.com.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at DenverSports 1043 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. Food critiques.
I love chicken. I hate chicken salad.
What?
If you put chicken salad in front of me, I'd gag.
Hard-hitting analysis.
I took an Ambien on accident before practice, and that's what he looked like out there.
And some constructive criticism.
Reminded me of the show that Mike had yesterday. Just a little off, not completely there. You were like, Mike, are you going to take control of this show? Like, how many times did you have to say that yesterday?
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
John Davis sitting in today with Stink. Mark, we've been talking about a lot of the players from the past, and in last segment you brought up Mike Shanahan making some of those tough decisions. This year we saw Jalen Waddle come in. That's a big name. We're all really excited about it. Your first Super Bowl team, 32, Neil Smith was the big name that they went and brought in, but there was some other guys that came in. Darian Gordon's a name we talked about, Howard Griffith. And then Willie Green came in.
Howard wasn't there in 96?
No.
Really?
Aaron Craver.
Craver was okay. Yeah, that's
Craver.
right. Craver,
and that's
96.
one of those that I look at. Craver was a good player.
Yeah.
He was really tight with TD. He didn't do anything wrong, but Mike saw an improvement there, an opportunity with Howard Griffith. And I think that's one of those 31 out of 32 teams might look at Craver and go, why would we replace this? This guy's playing well. Everybody likes him. But Mike made that tough decision. Willie Green was interesting because Anthony Miller left. And a few years previous, it was they got Mike Pritchard and Anthony Miller, and John has got his two stud receivers.
Right.
A few years later, they win the Super Bowl with some guy named Ed McCaffrey and some guy named Rod Smith.
Right.
But this Broncos offseason, there's a headliner, Jalen Waddle. My concern is that each year is different, and there might have been a few positions where you didn't have to go sign the biggest name in the world, but that Howard Griffith, that Darian Gordon might have been out there to subtly improve a position, and they didn't do it. Did they maybe hold back too much this offseason?
I think they are truly so conscientious about the right guys and the right chemistry. And Stoke brings this up all the time about 2 years ago when we were playing the New Orleans Saints and Cortland Sutton didn't get at one target.
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, and you never heard anything from Cortland Sutton, ever. He didn't say anything about not getting a target. And I think they're very conscientious. Like, we know our guys really well, and they're very conscientious about rewarding their guys and having the right guys that are willing to sacrifice and do things that maybe other guys wouldn't be willing to do. And I think one of the reasons Jalen Waddle is here is Jalen Waddle is that dude. And they had great intel on Jalen because obviously he played at Alabama and he played with PS2. And so they had great intel on the kind of guy he was, the person that he was, all those insights that made him a very viable candidate. What we've talked about the contract and how, the favorable contract. We've talked about a lot of things, ultimately swapping that 30th overall pick. And I went through this exercise with Mike months ago, but we went through in the last 10 years, the 30th overall picks in the last 10 years. There was two guys that there's two guys that you heard of, and there were six guys that you have never heard of in your entire life at that 30th pick. TJ Watt and Karlaftis, were 30th overall picks. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Then you had some other guys that people have heard of, but you don't really know it. And then you got a bunch of dudes that nobody has that are even out of the league, that nobody had heard of. So that 30th pick, where so many people in the media world and in the draft guru world put so much emphasis on first round picks. That 30th pick, like most GMs that I talk to around the league will tell you after about the 15th, 16th, 17th pick, there's no first-round graded players anymore. There are very few drafts have them. So from 15 on, you're kind of going, that's kind of a second-round pick. Now, it does give you the fifth-year option and all that kind of stuff, but if you get to the fifth year without a new contract, What does that tell you? It tells you they don't believe in you anyhow. This is like what I always say with Bryce Young. Like, is Bryce Young a franchise quarterback? Well, the organization tells you they picked up his 5th-year option, meaning they haven't given him a new contract. Do you think they think he's the future of the franchise? Because my thought process would be no. If Bo Nix gets to the 5th-year option and they haven't signed a new contract with Bo Nix, I'll be sorely disappointed because it means we missed.
Yeah. Garrett Bowles didn't even get it. He didn't even get the 5th-year option when it happened. But I think Sylvester Williams is another guy. He wasn't 30th overall, but one of those you heard of him.
Right.
But it wasn't.
Right.
There wasn't any long-term value.
Hey, guys like Noah Igbenogany, that
fantastic.
Yeah, right. You're like, I think I've heard of him, but I'm not quite sure.
Why do you think they identified receiver is we got to make a big change here, but not tight end? Is it more so Waddle's there? You don't pass this up. Maybe there wasn't a tight end there. Why wide receiver gets identified as needing an upgrade, but everything else stays the same?
Yeah, I think that they felt like they needed a veteran presence wide receiver that is going to help everybody. And so I think part of it, too, man, is how many tight ends in this league, like, is there any tight end available in this league that's a difference maker? Like, there's a few guys, like, you look at the George Kittles of the world, you look at Trey McBride up in or down in Arizona.
From Colorado State.
Yeah, that dude is freaking phenomenal.
Brock Bowers.
Bowers is incredible.
Those guys don't become available, though. There's a reason there's never any good ones out there.
It's just like really good offensive linemen. Like, you're not going to – those guys get locked up long term because it's so hard to find that guy, to develop that guy. If you're really good, if you're a really good O-lineman, man, you're going to play for a long time, and you're going to play for one organization for the majority of your career because you are that guy. I think tight end is fairly similar. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of tight ends in this league. I think it'd be a really interesting kind of case study of there are a lot of guys who do something well. Mm-hmm. But there's not a lot of guys that do everything well, right? And so you can piecemeal a room together and get away with, hey, this dude's a real good blocker. This guy's really good at beating man-to-man coverage. This guy's got a great sense of zone, like where to settle down and all that stuff. But all of them have different skill sets. The problem that you get into is you can piecemeal that together, and you'll get some production. This guy will have 12 catches. That guy will have 22 catches. This guy will have, 16 catches, whatever. You can piecemeal it together, but it's also a tell to the defense. If that dude's in, potential run. We gotta make sure we know what the run is. Hey, this guy is the dude that is their matchup dude. So we gotta make sure we play dime to this, so we have a better we have a better kind of matchup in the man-to-man situation on this particular player. So I think tight end is one of those spots. And you look at the Broncos. I think a lot of us thought maybe in that second round pick they would go get a tight end.
It was trending that way. They didn't get aggressive to go get one.
Right.
But,
and then I just think there wasn't enough of a differentiator in the second round to go, this dude gives us everything. It got to more of that one-dimensional, the Stowers kid from Vanderbilt. Can he be the guy that can play multiple YF, or is he just kind of a pass catcher? Like I think you get into that conversation. Even the dude from Oregon, who was
went to the Jets.
Yeah, went to the Jets.
I forget his name.
Yeah,
he went to the Jets.
It's escaping me as well. But
Sadiq,
yeah. He was on film, and like I talked I was on film, man. The guy was his pass receiving, like he can catch the ball and everything, and he can run. But I was like, my most disappointing part with him was he wasn't a very good runner with the ball in his hands. Just wasn't like as dynamic as he is, athletic. But let me tell you something, man. That dude lines up on the line of scrimmage. You don't think about this guy that can run like that. He lines up on the line of scrimmage, and he dispenses justice. He's not a good blocker. He's a great blocker. He was great coming out of college. So to me, you plug and play him right away because he can play everything. And then he's a dynamic, he's a dynamic runner. But I don't know that he's a dynamic route runner or a dynamic with the ball in his hands. I thought he was fairly, pedestrian. He got the ball in his hands. It just seemed to get tackled.
Yeah, his yards and stuff wasn't super impressive on the stat line. But
let me just tell you on tape, and I talked to Aaron Glenn from the Jets. I go, dude, on tape, this dude is he is the best blocker that I have watched in years coming out.
And that's the hardest thing.
Right. And so that gives you that's one where you can play him any down in any situation in any personnel package because the run is part of it. The run is on. And he can lock up a D end one-on-one and run block and say you feel pretty good about that matchup.
Oh, the Broncos, hopefully somebody steps up because tight end seems to still be the position that's got everybody the most nervous. A Denver Bronco made a bold prediction for the team this year. What are some other bold predictions we could see happening for the Broncos? We'll get into that next.
They're back. Our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We currently have drops at various Santiago's Mexican restaurants across the metro area. Limit one per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here for my friends at Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, Colorado. Summers mean blasting heat in the afternoon, and if your home heats up every afternoon, your windows might be the main culprit. UV rays and solar heat can do a number on your home and your energy bills, just skyrocketing those things. Hey, Infinity by Marvin Windows help protect against UV rays, solar heat up, and I'm telling you what, keeps your house cool all summer long. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, over 50 years of serving Denver and the Front Range, guys. I'm telling you what, they do it right the first time, every time. They know Colorado homes. They know Colorado weather. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton knows what holds up right here in Denver, Colorado. So, listen, 25% off Infinity by Marvin Windows, the toughest on the market, 12 months, no interest financing available. You can check out them and get more information at windowsforyourhome.com. That's 25% off of Marvin, Infinity by Marvin Windows, 12 months, no interest financing available. Hey, check them out, guys. I'm telling you what, you're going to be glad you did. Windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%. which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is error. ERROR. Text error to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's error to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from DenverSports 104.3 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Subtle intimidation.
Had to give Ty the look.
You did. I was
gave
wondering.
Ty a little bit of a like.
I was wondering what you were doing.
There's a little quizzical look.
Skilled debating.
You didn't think I was going to flip it on your head like this. See how I
you're
did
coming
that?
back at me. I
Right.
like this.
You
This is
regret
good.
this now.
And plenty of pet peeves.
Put your phone in your pocket and you never go back and get it.
It is a source of so much frustration for Mark. It drives him crazy.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need.
We're back.
Because he's
Forward.
John Davis sitting in today talking stand-up comedy. Mark, did you ever consider stand-up comedy?
No, I never have, although I'm hilarious.
You are hilarious.
But I've never thought about doing stand-up comedy.
You set up everybody out there, Netflix, Derek Stroop. He's from Alabama, but he did 10 years here in Denver. It's where he cut his teeth. His special's on Netflix. He's hilarious. Great dude, one of the biggest comedians now. Some of the things he says now, you don't have the Southern accent. Some of the ways you explain things about yourself is very similar to him.
Okay.
And the way I think of the thing where you're saying, if you want to kidnap me, it's easy. Just hold up a sign that says Schlereth and I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm getting in. I'm like, have you ever seen those things on Instagram where the dog is like, okay, I'm going to go over to so-and-so's house, and the dog's like, yeah, I'm going over to so-and-so's house. Okay, if somebody stops in a van, I'm getting in. No, you're not getting in, right? What if they offer you, what if they offer me, I'm getting in. If they offer me a candy bar, I'm getting in. No, you cannot get in. Oh, I'm not getting in, right? And it always makes me laugh because I am just like, my wife always asks me, like, where are you staying?
my wife.
I don't know. She's like, what? Who's picking? What time's the car get here? I don't know. She's like, do you not get an itinerary? Yeah. Why? Like, I have gotten on the road, landed in the airport, and all of a sudden the car doesn't show up, and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't have a car, and then I got to search through emails and I start calling people like, where are we staying? Like, wait. And they're like, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. I'm at the airport. I'm like trying to figure out where we're going to stay. And that's happened to me multiple times. So she's like, well, what hotel are you in? I don't know. That's why I got a cell phone. Like, well, how would I know that?
You're like, hey, based on how I almost went to Idaho a week earlier, you're lucky I'm even.
Yeah, right. You guys are lucky. If I show up on Sunday, consider yourself lucky. Right.
I got this right. But yeah, so that you do have very stand-up-esque things to your humor. So you could have been anything, Mark. You just chose football. With that, Zach Allen wasn't joking when he predicted that the Broncos could break the sack record this year. My take is I don't know how big of a fan I am at targeting a record. Just saying we got to do this. I am a fan. It's something I said earlier. Make them think you're breaking the record. Basically, the way you play, just make the opponent, it should feel like you're breaking the record versus whether you're actually doing it or not. 2015, Von Miller, I think everybody look at that, and if you said, how many sacks did Von Miller have? People would probably guess 15, 16. He had 10, which is a number. But the visual told you everything you needed to know.
Yeah, which for that actually shocks me because my first thought was I would have guessed 16.
Right. And
but 10 shocks me. But again, like sacks are interesting because, sacks are great. Sometimes pressures can be great or even better, because oftentimes pressures create errant throws, which create opportunities for picks, which create, opportunities for more offensive possessions. And so it's always kind of one of those give and take things. Like your sack totals might be less than they were a year ago, but you may have a heck of a lot more production. And then I start thinking about, okay, so what's the next level of sacking the quarterback? And I remember you mentioned Von Miller, so a conversation I had with Von where he's like, I don't sack the quarterback, I sack the ball. And that always resonated with me because I never thought about it that way. He's like, I'm not trying to get the quarterback on the ground, I'm trying to get the ball out of his hand. So I'm just trying to, because if I knock the ball out of his hand before he throws it, even if he doesn't touch the ground, that's a sack. But it's an opportunity for us to get the ball and create that turnover and all those things. So then it becomes a different focus, right? I'm pass rushing to that dude's arm, not necessarily to his body. And now I eliminate the potential of helmet to helmet. I eliminate the potential of going low on his legs. I eliminate the potential flag where we get a huge play and all of a sudden the momentum instantly stops, like, hey, illegal use of the hands, roughing the quarterback, whatever, right? And so that always resonated with me. So what's that next level? Is it, hey, Nick Bonito, you need to create 4 or 5 strip sacks on top of your 15 sacks that you get every year? Those are the things that you start thinking about. But I look at opportunities. You think about the Broncos right now. If this offense, let's just say this offense can be top 15 in least number of 3 and outs. Let's say this offense can be, highly productive on third down because in first and second down, they're putting themselves in third down in short situations. If you can do that and extend drives, the opportunities and you get leads, the opportunities for this defense to just eat, that becomes significantly more. So with the Broncos last year, they got a lot of sacks, but they didn't get a lot of turnovers. And part of that is, hey, the offense that we're playing against is not a real productive offense, especially early in games and early, coming out in the third quarter and first drives. They're not very productive. So let's not get into a situation where we know we're going to get pressured. Let's not turn a bad play into a worse play by throwing a pick. And so, hey, it's like you'll never hear this anywhere, but behind closed doors, I can see, hey, look, man, a sack's not the worst thing. Against this defense, they're going to get us a few times. It's not the worst thing. Just make sure that at the end of the sack, you secure the football.
If you look at the AFC Championship game, the Broncos lost because the sack would have been the better thing with Jared Stidham.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to get rid of the ball.
Right.
That's a turnover. Just take the sack. Against in that type of game, especially if you know the Broncos last game, the Broncos offense isn't going to succeed a lot. Why get reckless? Why put them in a position?
Right.
So this year, though,
your young running back in Bidet misses the release. He screws up the release in that, and so exactly what I'm talking about. You just made a bad play worse by doing the two-handed backward chest pass, right? And you just take your sack and move on. The defense is playing great. But again, there's a couple of mistakes that were made during the course of that game early that ended up costing them the AFC Championship game and a chance to go to a Super Bowl.
But this year, if the Broncos offense can put teams in a position, to where they have to throw the ball, Elvis Dumervil was really good at teeing off when the Broncos had a lead. He would get his sacks when that was obvious pass situations. Yeah. And that's one of those, if you look at Cooper, Allen, Bonito, they've never been in that position in Denver to where we're up 10 in the second half.
Dude,
and they can just go after them.
Then it's just be like, hey, man, we'll play the run on the way to the quarterback. Let's go, right? Everybody's just like, those are miserable. I've been in those situations plenty of times. Those are miserable situations for offensive linemen.
And they got to get back there because then you take the pressure off the defense of being the reason that they win games. So offense, help the defense, complementary. John Davis sitting in for Mike Evans today. Stink and I put a bow on this next.
ESPN polled NFL execs, coaches, and scouts to rank the best players at every position, and the Broncos skill guys got dismissed. Bo Nix led 7 game-winning drives, took Denver to the AFC Championship game, and didn't crack the top 17 quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Courtland Sutton just made the NFL Top 100 for the first time. The team added Jalen Waddle, and nobody outside of Colorado seemed to notice. Are the league's decision-makers sleeping on Denver's offense, or is there work to be done on Davis Webb's side of the ball? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Robbie Dino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled over 7,000 cases, 300 trials. Let's face it, divorce is really impactful. You may have a controlling spouse. You may have a violent spouse. You may have been a victim of a domestic violence. You may be wrongfully accused of domestic violence. This all affects parenting rights. And let's face it, the kids are the most important. These are the things that need to be handled. They need to be handled appropriately by someone that's going to protect your kids and protect your rights. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com, 720-706-5151.
Summer hailstorms bring in the 3-ring front porch roofing circus.
In Ring 1, there's We're Doing Bob's Roof down the street.
And in Ring 2, there's We Will Cover Your Deductible.
And in Ring 3, What Do I Need to Do to Get You to Sign Today?
Send those clowns to the curb.
Don't turn your home into a circus. Call the pros, Denver Roof Pros.
Check us out at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Stream Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Job shaving.
You played in the NFL, but you were a wide receiver.
Embellishments.
I mean, sometimes I swear you're just making things up.
And amateur zoology.
I think polar bears are bigger than grizzlies.
Of course they
So make them a polar bear.
It's Stokley and Evans with Mark Schlereth on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Our training camp shirts. Today from noon to 1 p.m., it's the first giveaway of our free limited edition Training Camp 2026 t-shirts. We'll be at Santiago's Mexican restaurant located at 2501 Ford Street in Golden. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. For more details and to find the location nearest you, head to DenverSports.com/shirt. Mark, we've talked about Jalen Waddle quite a bit, the impact, maybe being the guy that gets the Broncos to the Super Bowl. One thing I found interesting about acquiring Jalen Waddle, and what I think is going to be interesting to see how it plays out this year, is Sean Payton never has done this. The entire time he was in New Orleans, he developed everybody that he had on that offense. He never went and splashed for a wide receiver. It was Michael Thomas. They brought in, who's a horn. They brought him over from Kansas City, but Sean's kind of the reason he really took off. Jeremy Shockey, who was kind of at the end, was maybe the most notable pass catcher he brought in. Is it surprising at all to you that Sean Payton went outside of what's normally worked for him? Because he was doing what he did in New Orleans, which was draft and develop these guys, but then they went and got this big-name free agent.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does. I think Sean will do whatever he has to do. I think there's just going to be a lot of research into guys fitting the culture. And I think that's an incredibly important thing. And it's easier to draft a guy and have him adhere and fit into the culture than it is to grab a guy from a guy that's had success elsewhere and say, hey, now you're going to come do it this way. And so, and the other thing about Sean, which Waddle, this doesn't necessarily, fit with Waddle, but Sean likes big wide receivers, he always has, right? He tells me, hey, got to capture the edge of the football field, right? Got to capture the corners, got to capture the edge in the red zone and all that stuff. And it makes sense. And when you got a bunch of little small guys, they don't dominate out there, right? So you throw a fade to the corner of the end zone, and your 6'3", 210-pound receiver goes up and gets it and snatches it out. If you're 5'6" or 5'10" and 180 pounds, you get shoved out of bounds on that stuff. So, that's a big kind of thought process for him. But Waddle is that dude that is just so, like I said, dynamic, fast. He's in and out of breaks. He can stop fast. He can do all those things. He is just a difference maker. And then just having the assurance, especially from PS2, that this is our type of guy, that becomes incredibly important. And just in the kind of the life cycle, the day-to-day life cycle of a football team, right? To have those guys that adhere, that fit in, that will do the dirty work. When you're asked to run, as Stoke always says, a love of the game route, you're going to run that damn thing at full speed so that you can get somebody else open and get them an opportunity with the football. And there's guys that don't have any interest in that.
Yeah, well, you talked earlier when Cortland Sutton, Thursday Night Football a few years ago, doesn't catch a pass, but the Broncos win. You don't hear a peep out of Cortland. Super Bowl 32, Rod Smith doesn't catch a pass.
He didn't?
No, he didn't catch a pass. And nobody even – he never brought it up. But to the point with those teams, and that you kind of hope that's where this Broncos team is trending, is each week it's not get me the ball. It's, hey, your turn, everybody's turn will come. Just do what we ask you week to week. Rod Smith, Super Bowl 33, goes out and sets a record for longest touchdown catch. So, that patience, but Super Bowl 32 wasn't predicated on let's trade touchdown passes with Brett Favre. Right. It was dominating at the line like you guys did. It was letting TD let it go. McCaffrey throws the block. Everybody just kind of did what was asked of them. This team does seem to be more like that. And bringing in a Jalen Waddle, making sure he fits versus the talent. Because a name I mentioned earlier, Anthony Miller was an unreal talent at wide receiver. That guy was so fast, but he seemed to just not fit where Mike Shanahan was heading with that team. And ultimately he wins with McCaffrey and Rod Smith.
Right, because Mike Shanahan wanted a guy that was going to do the dirty work.
Right.
And Anthony Miller, and I played a year with Anthony Miller. I love Anthony, but that wasn't his deal. I remember them moving off of him, and I think it was probably a company-wide edict that we're going to talk about this. And I remember Alex Gibbs, our offensive line coach, we had a little meeting, and this is when they released him. And I think they released him going into the 96 season.
After 96.
Oh, after 96, going into the 97 season. And we were just we're like, hey, man, they were like, this Rod Smith guy, I'm telling you what, Rod Smith is killing people he's killing our defense and scout team, just killing them. And I remember Alex Gibbs saying, I think we could line him up at tailback and he'd get 1,400 yards. I mean, he's just that good a player. And, we're moving on from Anthony Miller, and Rod Smith is going to be phenomenal for us. And sure enough, man, he's one of the great players to ever play in this franchise.
Yeah, his first catch was week 3, the Mark Schlereth revenge game.
Yeah,
Broncos, Washington.
Right.
He goes up and
I got myself a game ball.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I shouted out game ball for Schlereth, and Mike goes, "Oh yeah, give Mark a game ball," because he bypassed me. I was like, "What kind of baloney is this? What kind of BS is this?"
So you got your game ball.
I hate Mike Shanahan.
Undrafted Rod Smith, nobody heard of, goes in, catches that ball, and it was another 2 seasons. He caught like a game winner on Monday Night Football the following year against Oakland. And there's an Anthony Miller card misprinted, and it's Rod Smith.
Really?
On the card.
Really?
In that game. But I think that's kind of where everything needs to be heading. Mark, somebody texted in. This is going. We talked about turnovers earlier, bold predictions. Do they need 4 to 5 more than last year? Do they need 10 more?
Oh, my goodness. What a save. The 11th hour. Man. Thank you for that. Yes, they need 4 or 5 more opportunities a game, and they'll come away with a bunch of big-time turnovers.
Yeah, we weren't getting out of here without that.
That was great.
Something else, the YouTube chat. Mark, you're wearing somebody wants to know if Evans has explosive diarrhea. But Mark, you're wearing the Washington shirt today.
Yeah.
Mark did play for Washington, everybody.
Yeah,
So
the Commanders. Well, because, every time I call a Washington game, they give me more free swag than I can possibly wear.
That's cool.
Yeah, so every time I roll into Washington, man, they give me a bag of T-shirts and long sleeves and hats and all kinds of stuff. And so that's just what they do. They used to be when you go in, when I first started, calling games, you go in and you always got like a little swag bag from every team. Now there's only a handful of teams that give you a little swag bag.
Oh, that's weak. Is it because they heard what you said?
No, I just
like
think
Schlereth's coming in, put the bag away.
I think they just stopped. I just think they stopped doing it. But like the Arizona Cardinals will always send you a swag bag. They'll send it to you.
They need all the support.
Right. They're like, hey, please talk nice about us. Here's some T-shirts. And I'm like, I got a bunch in my closet right now. I got a bunch of never worn Arizona Cardinal stuff. I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff? I just end up giving it to whoever, giving it away.
I love the Cardinals right now because their quarterback that went 2-10 last year is currently holding out, Jacoby Brissett.
Yes. Yeah, what option do you have over there?
That's my favorite thing. But my cousin Kevin Cooper, he's a big fan. He's listening. So can we shout out Kevin with that? And last, Mark, World Cup last night, pretty big win for Argentina. They win late. Messi kind of took over late in the game. Those are the best players. Of all the guys you ever played with, when I think of Broncos history, like who was the guy that could rise up in the biggest moment? Obviously John Elway. I think Von Miller, the way he took over in the 2015 AFC Championship and Super Bowl, is the most Messi-like thing we saw from last night, where it's a guy that just was like, I'm going to go win this game, and there's nothing anybody's going to do about it.
Right. Yeah, there's always a handful of those guys that just make plays. And it's funny because it's those guys that you draft or those guys that come in that you instantly see like, oh, dude, that guy's different. That guy can play. And then you see guys get drafted in the first round, and you're like, uh-oh, they screwed that one up, right?
He had a good 40 time.
Yeah, right. And so I just remember, I think it was 99 when Al Wilson got drafted?
It was after the Super Bowl 33, so 99.
99. The very first day of practice, like in minicamp, you're like, oh, shoot, we got us one. Like, we got us a player.
You opened up on Monday Night Football. The Dolphins blew you guys right out of the stadium. But there was a play on the goal line where Al Wilson just like dove over everybody. And we were all like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was in practice. You're like, oh, dude, that dude can play. Like, so there's certain, and obviously you got guys that you're like, uh-oh. That's always happens.
They're going to do it. Mark, it was a lot of fun today. Have fun in Idaho.
All right, man.
Have fun in Idaho. We got the guys coming up next.
3 and 9. That was Coach Prime's reality last season, and it forced a total reset. Deion Sanders told the country no more chasing 5-star mercenaries through the portal. This time, 43 transfers, 0 5 stars, all guys with something to prove. His words, hungry players who won't bolt at the first sign of adversity. And on the high school side, 20 commits for 2027. CU's best class of the Sanders era so far. So is this the blueprint that finally works in Boulder, or is it too little too late? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
We do, and you will too when you see Tacori. Handcrafted in California, Tacori rings have design details you won't find in any other diamond engagement rings.
Including Tacori's perfectly engineered crown and windows of light created by Tacori's iconic crescent design.
It's the Tacori touch, and you'll find it at Williams Jewelers, Colorado's only platinum Tacori store. I'm Steve Williams.
I'm Shayna Williams.
And I'm Bruce Williams. You'll find your Tacori jewelry at Williams Jewelers, along with one of the largest selections of certified loose diamonds in the state at the guaranteed best price.
So come, fall in love with the Tacori ring she's always dreamed of.
Tacori at Williams Jewelers of Inglewood and Williams Jewelers of Cherry Creek North,
where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make